This is your Theo on Roadium Radio. Pull your panties to the side and enjoy the ride. Tony A, the Wizard.
Yeah, Dr. Dre is in full effect, and I gotta tell y'all a little something. Eazy-E is down with us. MC Ring, you know he's down with us. DJ Yella is down with us. Arabian Prince, you know he's down with us. Tony A the Wizard is down with us. JJ Fag is down with us. Timmy T, you know he's down with us. DJ Pooh, boy, he's down with us. Toddy B and Spade, they're down with us. My boy Ice Cube, you know he's down with us. I like to mention, so pay attention to where I'm from, Compton, but the tapes are from the Roadium. My name is Dre, listen while I play. And by the way, I'm also down with NWA. Yo, Steve at the Roadium is down with us. Slanging funky tapes, it is a must. We're number one.
Tony A. Tony A. When you're ready, go.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio episode 63. And I am your host, Tony A, the Wizard, with the podcast that slaps you across your fat ass with a fat dick. And before I introduce my special guest, let me go ahead and give special announcements. People have been hitting me up about the CDs. They should be pressed up and possibly ready to go this week. So I'll have about 9 different CDs. I'll be releasing my old school Scandalous album that I produced for High C back in 1990, and it was released in 1991. That's coming out, and all 4 of my old school mixtapes. Of course, there's more, but I'm only releasing 8 at a time. Other than that, the Roadium mixtape documentary, once again, at documixery.com. You can watch it now. That's been doing really, really well. Thanks to everybody that has supported. And you can use the promo code TRMD20 to get 20% off. As a matter of fact, we were just in Santa Maria chilling with my boy Dominator. Thank you for your hospitality. And we watched it over there. We watched our own shit. That's pretty crazy, huh? And I enjoyed it. I mean, I could barely wait and see what I directed. It was that good. Other than that, what else do we have, Johnny Boy? Oh, the Chicano rap documentary donation. So those of you that have contributed, once again, thank you. Your dolls have been sent out, the Night Owl dolls. And for those that still haven't given, if you want to be a part of something that I believe is going to be great, go ahead and go to my bio on Instagram, Facebook, or on the description of this channel, and you should go see. It'll take you to the GoFundMe there. If you want to give $1, cool. You want to give $5, cool. You want to give 100, cool. I greatly appreciate it, and we're almost at 10,000. Our goal was 15,000, which really is nothing. But other than that, without further ado, please allow me to introduce my very first special guest tonight, Roadium. I said River on Roadium Radio, AI from the LP.
Hey man, honor to be here first and foremost, man. I'm glad to be here at the Roadium Radio with my boy Tony, man. I don't know. I'm just excited, man. You know, I know you're a producer, and you know, I seen your resume of work. You know, and as a producer, I can only admire and thank you just for laying down that foundation, man. I was checking out some of the records today, chilling in the park and all that. I was like, oh man, I remember my cousin Oscar used to bump these crazy. So yeah, man, it's an honor being here, man. It really is. As a producer, it's an honor being here, man.
Well, thank you for coming and chilling with me. And I see you got your michelada, you got a couple of modelos, you're ready. You know what I wanted to ask you before we get into it, and before we get into a little bit of your history. I know crazy shit has been going on. We could talk about it, but you know what? People can see it on social media. People can see it on the news. So as of right now, we're not even going to entertain that.
Right.
But I want to talk about you. You seen anything good lately on TV, man?
No. I mean, everything is looting. Everything is to be honest, you know, TV wise, I really just mess with Netflix. Okay. Hulu and different programs. I really don't like to go into the news and
Pornhub, anything?
Pornhub's only when the wife's kind of mad at me, but right. But you know what? Just too much negativity, man. To be honest with you, man. For you know, I only listen to what I've always been told. What really concerns me, and looting and all that really doesn't concern me because that's an act that people are choosing to do, where we could really be peacefully doing these things. So, other than hearing the Governor Newsom in regards to the updates for the COVID, other than that, nah, I'm not really listening to the TV, man.
Okay.
I'm like that.
You know, there's a new documentary on Netflix about that guy Harvey Epstein or whatever. You have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm gonna see him tonight. Now,
Okay.
you tell me about this. But I heard about his actions and things in
Yeah.
Hollywood and
Yeah.
a lot of the sick stuff that he used to do. But I mean, did you watch it yourself?
You know what? I've seen an episode, a special they had on 60 Minutes about his ass, and you know, somebody went in there and smoked his ass. That, you know, and for the guards to be able to say we went to lunch or we were asleep, and then somehow the cameras weren't working and nobody saw nothing, bullshit. You're in a federal pen. Like,
Bullshit.
it's bullshit, homie. Somebody walked in there, lo mataron. That's
Exactly. Everything's microscopes there. I mean, you can't just, oh, well, this, no. I'm going to see that now. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to
legit.
see all that. So,
Yeah.
where it goes into detail on that.
Yeah, it goes into
Okay.
detail, and they actually even showed pictures on 60 Minutes of his neck, of his strangulation, and then supposedly the noose that made it, it had no residue, had no blood, it had no sweat on it, but they left it there, I guess. It was all bullshit. But I want to see what Netflix has to say. I heard it was
Okay.
really good.
I'm going to check it out.
Are you a Matrix fan?
Yes, I am. Yes.
You know, they
Neo.
just did a part 4.
Same character, same everything.
Everything, bro. Everything. I mean, okay, to me, people say, oh, really? To me,
an actor right now.
yeah, see, that's what I want to see.
I even played the video game.
Yeah, for real?
Matrix on PlayStation 2. Yeah, yeah. With Neo in there with the bullets flying and.
Hell yeah. Can you do that again?
No, but yeah, no, I'm a Matrix fan. I'm a Matrix nerd. I definitely like that.
What about John Wick?
Yes, I haven't seen part 3 yet. But I'm gonna get to that one so hopefully soon because there's a website I'll be watching them on. But I'm not gonna say anything now. But I gotta watch that one.
Yeah,
So
John,
hopefully-
John Wick is dope. Last Blood, Rambo. It was more like that movie Taken. Remember that movie Taken with
Yeah,
Liam
yeah,
Neeson?
yeah.
It was kind of like that because usually Rambo is somehow usually has something to do with military.
Yeah.
This had more to do with like the Mexican cartel in Mexico, and he fucking takes them all out. Okay, crazy. It's just a movie. It ain't fucking reality. But if you want to get excited and see how motherfuckers get smoked, that's a good movie.
What is that one? Okay,
You know,
okay.
John Wick would have tipped his hat off to Rambo because the way he was killing motherfuckers.
was doing it, huh?
Dude, he look. When do we ever see fucking Rambo shove his hand in somebody's fucking chest and rip out the heart and show it to him? That's hard.
Damn, I haven't
shit
seen
was
that
dope.
since Mortal Kombat. To be honest with
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Holy
Hey,
shit.
finish him. Remember that?
Finish it. Yeah, I haven't seen that since then. But man, Rambo, how old is that guy? 65?
I think no, hell no. He's like 80 something.
He's still pushing, huh?
Yeah. He's pushing.
Jesus Christ! Shout out to Stallone, man. He's been one of, I think, all of our heroes. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Stallone. So who else?
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood, Arnold, Chuck Norris, Wesley Snipes.
Now, out of all those guys you mentioned,
Yeah.
who would be one guy, if you haven't, that you would like to meet?
I always said Stallone.
So Stallone.
I just want to meet Stallone. I mean, just the movies that he's creating after the fact. Like he did that one where he brought back all the guys.
Oh, yeah.
What's it called?
Expendables. That
He
shit was
brought
hard.
every single guy that you can possibly think of that was like a superhero back then.
Yeah.
Into a movie. So I just kind of want to pick his brain a little bit about, what is he thinking about when he's doing all these movies? Because just like Mel Gibson, he became a great director. Adam Sandler, another great director.
Yeah.
These guys are just great directors. Stallone, another great director. So I kind of want to pick his brain a little bit about, what did he do post acting and
Right.
how did he find that motivation to keep going?
Right.
With wanting to write scripts and stuff like that. So
Me, it'll probably have to be Clint Eastwood. That's how I want
he's
to.
the mule.
Yeah, I just want to quote some of the lines to his ass, like "Make my day," that type of shit.
Dirty Harry.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one guy that I would love to have dinner will be with him. I mean, I love this shit so much. I drove up to Carmel where he was once a manager. I mean, mayor. ¿Cuál pinche manager? Mayor. And I walked into a secondhand store in there,
Okay.
and they still had a button, vote for Clint Eastwood for mayor. And I bought that motherfucker, and I still have it.
Wow.
Yeah,
So this was what, back in the what?
I think I want to say 90s.
90s, right?
Yeah, late, 90s.
Because I wouldn't be able to think of a bigger icon than Clint Eastwood. I mean, for decade through decade through decade, I think he holds it down. I mean, Gran Torino directed great movies, but you're
Gran
right,
Torino's
70s
fucking
was
hard,
just,
too.
Gran Torino's a great movie.
And I think, what was the last movie? Unforgiven?
Unforgiven? Well, no, it was The Mule.
No, but as far as
Western. Yeah, I think it was Unforgiven, yeah. For Western, because that was his main thing, really.
Remember the Schofield kid?
No.
The Schofield kid. Remember that? He shot somebody and he regretted it. And he was fucking getting drunk. Clint Eastwood took his bottle and he goes, I think we have it coming. He goes, we all have it coming, kid. And it's true.
Oh, shoot.
Dope movie, man. You got to go back
You
and watch it.
You put me on game right now.
Yeah,
I
you
should be
gotta-
knowing
I
all
watch
this.
a lot of fucking movies, bro. Honestly,
Yeah.
and I listen to a lot of music. And speaking about music,
Yeah.
What type of music would you say at home you were raised with, whether your mom and your dad, what would they play?
I love this, and I've been wanting to talk about this. Okay, so I don't know. I both of my parents are very romantic people, right?
So am I.
Right? Because thank you. I'm romantic too, right? Even though sometimes a romantic's a little tacky, so what? I don't care.
It's all good.
It's all good, right? So my dad used to listen to Temenarios, Bukis, Yonis. A lot of what they consider oldies for the English now was oldies for the Spanish then,
Yes.
right? So the música romántica, stuff like that, and this and more, right? So I have also a famous uncle from el Grupo Tiempo,
Okay.
right? And they still perform out in Argentina and Costa Rica and all kinds of places. So he's still doing his thing. Shout out my tío. So if I were to position it, it'd be both that music because they both like that. Now,
Right.
my dad was also into like banda music, los Huracanes del Norte, there's so many bands, El Tigres del Norte,
Yes.
and different stuff. So in the household, it was usually that kind of music. 60s, 70s, 80s music, los muecas and stuff like that, right? My dad's a drummer, he's a singer, so he did his thing too in music and stuff like that. So that's what he did. Mom, same thing. Now, transitioning outside of that, because I was always hanging around with my older cousins. I was always that younger cousin. I want to kick it with the older cousins. A lot of stuff my mom wouldn't let me listen to, which was too short. Public Enemy.
Who introduced you to that type of music?
My cousin Oscar.
Okay.
My cousin Oscar introduced me to that music. Believe it or not, my tía Ofelia, right?
There you go, my brother. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Get a little sweaty here, but my tía Ofelia, shout out my tía Ofelia, because that was my dad's sister, and she was a younger one. She was always the one that like the cutia.
Okay.
Like, come here, mijo, don't trade. I'll let you listen to it. Just don't tell him I'll let you listen to it. So she put me on, Easy, you know what I'm saying, Too Short. And I was like, man, this is hard. I want to cuss too, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, time parents weren't around, I closed the door, put back then it was a Fisher brand music, stereo, put that up and boom, F this, F that, boom. So I got into that. So outside influences really was funk music, rap. I really grew up heavy with the West Coast rap.
Okay.
Real heavy. Chronic, DPG, DJ Quick, and Banks, Shepherdling music, with also Sugar Free. So there's a lot of that music that I grew up with. We used to always cruise back then, the Boulevard and stuff, Whittier, Santa Ana. There's music that was just popping back then, right?
Yeah.
So household-wise, there was a lot of romantica music, a lot of Chente, Ramon Ayala, the typical stuff you would listen to. But the outside of that, when I would go with my cousins or we'd go barbecue, I'd be with my uncle, it always funk, rap. So a little variety of both because, I'd stay with my mom a lot, but then I'd also stay at my cousin's house when my mom was at work. And, you have those 3-4 hours that you spend with the family after school. And so, a little bit of both, but I thank my family a lot because they were musically, that's just all they listened to is music, cleaning their cars and, all that barbecuing and so, yeah. So that's how it would be.
You come from a big family, a lot of brothers and sisters?
Big family. So on my mom's side, it's between uncles and, tias and tios, it's 10 total. But after that, my cousins and all that had 5 to 6 babies. So big amount of cousins,
big
right?
family.
And same thing with my dad's side. 2 tias, two tios, 2 tias, but they all had big families.
Yeah,
5, 6 kids also, and so forth and so forth. So
it's all about having big families.
it is, man. And especially, I don't know if you feel the same way, but it's not the same now that it was when we were younger.
Right.
Being around all the primos at Christmas, Thanksgiving, and just
Cesar Chavez.
just remember that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Of course, it was like a big ass fucking party. Right?
And then I don't know if it transitioned for you, but then it transitioned to the Loya. I like the Loya. Chavez is number one for me. Chavez is number one.
Of course.
He would be the toughest, most respected Mexican fighter, period. I like the swiftiness of De Loya, how he carried himself being a Chicano, right? Because I'm first generation here. So to me, it's big because we were the generation that didn't have our parents that can help us with the homework. They didn't know English. You had to ask your cousins, and your cousins didn't have time, or you had to drive to them. So, so being that first generation is a lot of work on both sides, from maybe not getting in trouble in school because your mom didn't understand everything, to damn, I need help with my homework. She don't understand that. What do I do? And back then, all they do is go to your door and sell you encyclopedias. And remember that? You had to go encyclopedias. There was no Google.
Right.
You couldn't Google things back then.
No.
You had encyclopedia, dictionary, hit the library. So things like that, my parents always put the foot forward if I brought it up. So, I take a lot of pride in the first generation.
Yeah, and playing, everything was outside. Today's all cell phones and video games.
Yes.
PS5 now.
Everything.
So, but I mean, back then we used to kick the kids out so that we can have whoopee time with the girl. You know.
You remember me?
Yeah. So now, where did you grow up at? Like what city?
I grew up in Buena Park, Orange County.
Okay.
I grew up there to about maybe 22, 23.
Okay.
And now I reside in the city of Rolling Heights, which is where my wife grew up.
Okay.
And I love that area. It's just a lot more peaceful than it is where I grew up. So, shout out to Rolling Heights, man, because ever since I've been living there, it's just my creative levels and my ambition became higher.
Okay.
Because I knew there was more. Because, living in Buena Park, I love Buena Park. Everything came from there. My soul, my heart, my pain, my suffering, everything beautiful, not always bad, came from there. So, your ambition was always I'm going to move out of here.
Yeah.
I can't, me growing up was always like, this is it. This is it. And I just got to work and be able to maintain bills. Because I was so stuck in that cycle of my parents. But then when I told them, I got to break this cycle. I can't be doing this all just to work to live. I got to be able to live, work, and enjoy life too at the same time.
Absolutely.
I can just imagine the amount of stress our parents would go through. It's just, a trabajar, porque hemos pagar bills, stuff like that. So I broke the cycle and just doing different things. And, my parents always said, oh, no, tienes que trabajar 40 hours. Well, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to do something else.
Right.
So I just got into banking,
Okay.
And I took my steps into banking at a young age. And I flourished in banking now working downtown as a specialist for City National Bank. But aside from that, I've always been able to be creative, living in Rolling Heights with my wife, and get into more music that I knew I should have been getting into from the start. So you just got to break that cycle, man, to be honest. You got to break the whole, I know a lot of people want to live in their community for a long time, and it's fine. There's no problem with doing that. But if there's a lot of negativity around that, you got to move around that.
Yeah. What high school did you attend out there?
You know what? I went to John F. Kennedy High School for basketball purposes, Division II high school. From time to time, we used to play against Long Beach Poly, Wilson, John Bosco. We used to play a bunch of rural high school, Artesia High School. So I went to John F. Kennedy High School for basketball.
Okay.
Varsity from freshman year all the way up. So basketball really was my ambition back then. That was like I'm going to be in the NBA. I'm going to be the first Chicano to hit that. And I want to go to, and I'm telling you, bro, I was back from 96 to 2000, I would hit the Orange County Register. I would be averaging 24 points, 8 rebounds. I was hitting it. Dude, I would get this much over the rim when I'd go up. I was doing it big, and then, certain things happened. Senior year, I got shot. Wrong place, wrong time.
Okay, hold on. Time out. You got shot. What the hell happened right there, man? What were you at, OG Mike's or something? Or what?
Nah, I won't go too much into the areas.
Okay.
Right? Because it's a part of my life that I'm over it. Like I said, you know what they say, I don't remember nothing. Right. I don't know nothing. And just move on from it, right?
Okay.
So I went that path. Wrong place, wrong time. I ended up getting shot 4 times. He let go of the hook whip, but 4 times. Luckily I was able to survive. I was able to live. I went into a real deep depression.
Oh, wow.
After that. You go from being fit every day to working to staying fit to really working on your school to doing everything to all of a sudden just losing it.
Wow.
I lost everything. When I got shot, I lost everything. Like muscle, everything. I was pale, skinny. I needed blood transfusion. I lost everything. So they put me in that stage. At that time I was getting scouted by Missouri, Cal State Fullerton, Cal State Northridge, San Diego State. I was getting scouted by a lot of schools. Moving forward, now I'm just grateful that I'm alive, grateful that, I took the path of just being on my own and not saying nothing and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, man. It can happen to anybody. Wrong place, wrong time. Motherfuckers don't like you. This happen. It's like anything else. So, but like I said, I take more of the approach. I'm grateful and I'm still alive. And I've been able to flourish my life after that even more.
Okay. Like now today, do you still fuck around, play a couple of hoops?
You know what, dude? I'm motivating my son. I should be. I'm gonna lie, Tony. I'm gonna say this. I like the ambition you have with your workouts and how you work out and how you stay in shape and all that, right? Me, I'll fucking get lazy. I'm not gonna lie. I get lazy when I think about working out. But when I think about playing basketball, it's not a workout to me. It's just I don't have that enough ambition to say, you know what? I'm gonna start playing every day. I don't play every day. I just play once in a while on the back with my son. I bought him a basketball court. You know, I'm teaching him everything I know and stuff like that. But I want to get back into it.
Okay.
Why? To be quite honest with you, I'm fucking lazy. I got music, I got work, I got kids, I got 3 boys, I got my wife already about to have my 4th boy in end of July.
Congratulations.
Thank you, bro. So 4 boys. So I know I can find an hour or 2 of my day to do something, but man.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes, I mean, when I go to the gym, I still knock it out by myself. But sometimes when I want to go heavy, I'll take my son so he can spot me.
Yeah, I know. I see. Yeah,
and we'll spot each other.
You're twin, huh?
Yeah,
I see that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
a mini me right there. But now, around what point? Now, you're out of high school.
Yep.
This incident happens. You recover. Around what point in time did you say you start now being curious about production?
2005. 2005. It was in November, and I remember clearly too. It was before Thanksgiving. This is when I'm about to have my first son, Alex, 14 years old now. He's about to go into 9th grade. And I remember telling my wife, I was laying down, saying, you know what? I've been around the music a lot. I've been around studios. I've been around garage studios, big studios, everything. And I remember people having an MPC. I'm like, you know what? That Sam Ash store over there has an MPC 2000 XL. I want to go get that. So what are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna try to do something. You know, I think because drums I have always in my brain. You know, and I started figuring out BPMs and everything. So I bought the MPC. I figured out drums. Then I started getting drum breaks, right? Jane Brown and different drum breaks that I like.
Vinyl or
vinyl?
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'll go straight 1/4 inch in, and I'll sample it within there. You know, you start learning how to sample and put them in each pad, and then you know how to sequence them in there. Then once you sequence them in there, then you 1/4 inch them into Pro Tools. And back then, I think it was Pro Tools 5. Right. So I learned that process. I started learning the chord Triton. I started teaching myself piano, chord progressions, inversions, all that stuff. Yeah, just to understand a little bit of the keys of the records that I'm going into, because there's a lot of key switches. So you try to understand where the record's going. How can you build that record? And then when I started getting curious of that, that's when I started going to school. I went to Berkeley Online Music for production and learning different things of that nature.
Berkeley Online Music?
Yeah, online music.
Okay.
You go online, take a couple classes, and they give you like weekly, they'll give you like certain things to mix.
Okay.
And then they'll judge you on that. And then production, things what you would do. And then learning composition. And even though the composition was like alternative music, country, and different stuff, the closest one really was to the one that I like was doing the pop music. I was as close as hip hop as I can get to it, related wise.
Okay.
Beat count. So started doing that, and then started working with artists, man. To be honest with you, everything really that I learned was either through another engineer looking at them and taking what I like, but really hands on.
Okay, let me start right there because I want to go back. Being a producer and knowing producers that are listening, let me ask you this. So you bought an MPC knowing damn well you didn't know how to use it?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Then you got Pro Tools knowing you didn't know how to use it.
Right.
So you got a bunch of equipment that you don't know how to use, but you taught yourself.
I taught myself.
That's awesome, man.
I taught myself, dude. And you know what? Shout out to YouTube.
Yes.
Shout out to YouTube. Hey, shout out to YouTube because at first when you try to find a specific issue that you have, you couldn't find it. And then you started seeing that one person that would teach everything. And another guy that I was following a lot too back then was Ryan Leslie. He would go in the studio by himself, him and his engineer, and just, all right, I'm gonna play these piano chords, these stabs. All right, cool. Hold on. Let me go in there, play some percussions, and then boom. Then next you have a record. Diamond Girl and all the ones that he made. So really, I just taught myself, man. I just taught myself, and I'd call my uncle, hey, I'm playing this and this. He goes, all right, what? He would teach me in Spanish a little bit how to change the inversions or how to progress it. Or like, okay, what are you building? What kind of song are you building? And then I tell him, he goes, oh, well, I don't know hip hop. And then, structure's pretty easy, right? You have an 8-bar intro, 16-bar hook, 16 bars, maybe 12 nowadays or 8. Then you go 16, then you can drop it from there, then you can go back to it, and then at the end you do your signature as a producer, right?
Okay.
So
Did you know about bars before then?
I did. I knew that because of the artists that I work with. They would break down bars to me. So how the progressions came along, I learned that. Like I learned how to go from like an aggressive sound to maybe building it up softly and then building it into aggressive sound to the hook. The way I learned is real weird because I didn't know a lot of structure. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know a lot of structure. So I knew that, yeah, it's supposed to go this way. But as time went on, working with like artists like Smitty, Cosme, Anthem, and first artists that I started working with, they actually knew a little bit more of composition. Anthem and them, and he'd be like, hey, do this, or why don't you try this, or focus only on this, and then build this. So then I started building it into like 8-bar sections.
Okay.
Now I can go in there, hear a sound, or make a sound, and build a whole beat around it within a matter of 30 minutes to maybe an hour.
Okay.
Now, if the artist goes in and say, hey, look, I have an idea for a hook, it's in this key. Okay, hold that key right there, and I'll maybe play something. And then build it. Okay. So it really depends. To be honest with you, I don't try to take one approach. I try to really go in freehand and be like, hey, how you feeling today? What are you feeling? Like we were working on a record last night, and he came in with a mindset, I want to make a West Coast record. Okay, West Coast, all right, that's pretty open. Why don't we do this? Why don't we go through some sounds? We'll sample something. And the moment that sample talks to you, then we work on that record. And then how long we were in there sampling? For like an hour, huh? Then he finally heard that one sample. We built a record last night. So he dropped the hook, and he dropped his verse, and there it is. So I like to build organically,
Okay. Now, as far as keyboard, did you know how to play prior?
A little bit, only through my uncle. I knew certain chords. I knew, how to invert chords. The progression part I didn't know.
Okay.
So, when you build a certain part, then you start progressing it from there and then drop it back, depending on the artist. That I didn't know. So I learned that through YouTube. I learned that through books. I invested a lot of money just in like I said, online classes.
Okay.
So no, I didn't. Yeah.
Now, would you recommend online classes?
Yeah. I mean, look, maybe not everything might not apply to you. I know people that went to LA recording school and say, man, I didn't learn a damn thing.
Okay, I heard the same thing.
Right, but they got connections out of it. They got access to different engineers or studios that can either grow their path or maybe help their network. I don't know, but you had to learn something out of that. You had to at least learn to me, honestly, I can go through a whole lesson and maybe take 2 things out of it that I never knew before that will improve my work 10 times more. Okay. So it really depends on how it works for you. You know what I mean? You can't go in there unless you're a complete newbie. But me, I wasn't a newbie at that time, so I just took what I felt was for me, and the rest I took for a loss. Okay. I mean, it is what it is.
Now, in the very beginning, you say you got a keyboard, you got a drum machine, you buy records. Obviously, you needed a turntable. Yep. You got Pro Tools. Obviously, you needed a laptop or computer. About how much would you say you spent in money?
The first 2 months, because that's when I got everything, about 15.
Okay.
15 grand.
15 grand?
15 grand, yeah. Because I bought a mic too. Okay, so look, everything that I bought was, when I bought Pro Tools back then, it was Pro Tools LE.
Right.
With that and the Pro Tools M-Box was probably $800. But you had to upgrade all that. Yeah. I couldn't just record on talk tracks.
Right.
So I expanded that. I bought the musical toolkit back then. That's what they had, and that was an extra $500. Okay. So I upgraded it all. Now I can have X amount of buses and X amount of this. So with upgrading that, then the keyboard costing $3,000, and then the $2,000 for the MPC. Then the computer, I think, cost me like $1,500, and then updating all the software there, and then not only that, but then you have to buy all the VSTs. You know what I mean? You have to buy all the VSTs, and back then I was buying a lot of VSTs. So, but the reason I had that money is because I did loans. Okay. So I don't know if back then, but back then when you were doing a loan officer, you were making good money. To me, it was good money. I was making like $15, $20 a month. Okay. Just on loans, just closing loans out and everything else. So
shit, why would you want to be a producer then?
Well, it took a shit in 2008.
Oh yeah.
So I had to go back into finance. I went back to B of A and worked in the mortgage area, but not off points, not off percentages and stuff. So I would get percentage off the closing. So if the close $300,000, I make 3-4% of that, and you're closing 4 or 5 houses a month. And some people were closing out like crazy amounts, right? But so that allowed me to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go spend this real quick. I'm about, okay, go ahead. And so I invested it correctly, and now I have my own workflow. Everything is a perfect workflow for what I do. I can make a record, I can record somebody quick, mix and master, and have it done the next day. Dope. I can work fast, so.
Wow. Okay, now explain AI. Where did that come from?
Shout out to Am Winter. I'm gonna give that to Am Winter. Am Winter is an artist I used to work with, dope hip hop artist, very, very Wu-Tang, Big L. I mean, very big on he's worked with King Magnetic from New York. He's worked with a lot of artists, Razzcazz and different artists. He's the one that told me, he goes, you know what, bro? He goes, you're like Allen Iverson, bro. You just always find the answer.
Dope.
And your name is Alex Ibarra.
Okay.
AI.
There it is there. We're going to be back with AI in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10
We're going to take a break, so make sure you get a refill on that michelada. Okay? And if you guys hear any gunshots in the background, that's just looting happening in my neighborhood. I'm just kidding. Anyways, everybody, once again, call somebody, text somebody, pay somebody, slap the shit out of somebody, let them know that AI is in the motherfucking building, and we'll be back. Welcome to Roadium Radio, and I am your host, Tony A. the Wizard. We started a GoFundMe page because we need you to help us meet our goal. And our goal is to release a Chicano rap documentary. And we need you to be a part of this. Everyone who contributes will have certain incentives offered to them. For an example, I'll name one. Your name will be on the credits of the film. Everyone who gives, everyone who contributes, their name will be on the credits. That's just one thing that we have to offer. But yet, if you read the description, you'll see other incentives for your contribution. If you've seen the Roadium Mixtape documentary, you will not be disappointed with this documentary, shining light on Chicano rap, the Chicano culture. It is something that can be used as an educational tool now and in the future. So once again, help us meet our goals so that we can start production. And remember this, we have a voice and we will be heard.
It's Mr. Little One chilling on Roadium Radio with the one and only Tony A and John motherfucking Elkins, boy.
Hey, what up? It's your boy Mr. Shadow. You're watching Roadium Radio with my homeboy Tony A the Wizard. You know what time it is.
Yeah, what up? This is Mr. Night Owl, and you're listening to Roadium Radio with the legendary Tony A the motherfucking Wizard.
Yo, what's cracking? Nosotros somos Aqua y estamos aquí con Tony A the Wizard. You know Roadium Radio, damn it. You know what it is.
Yo, what up? This is Mellow Man Ace and Pablito, and you tuned in to Roadium Radio with my man Tony A. Keep it locked.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy OG Arabian Prince from the world's most dangerous group, NWA. Sitting here with my boy Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
What's up, everybody? It's your homegirl Magic Girl, and you are now listening to Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
Yo, what's up? This is Bozo, aka Emiliano. You tune into Roadium Radio on Tony Vision's YouTube channel. Let's get it.
What up? This is Mr. Soto. You guys are now in tune to Roadium Radio right here on Tony Vision on YouTube. Yep.
Check it out. This is MC Poncho on the MIC. Shout out to Tony A the Wizard, Roadium Radio. You already know.
What up? This is DJ Trick, Spanish Fly, and you're watching Tony A on the Roadium Radio Show.
Big G, Roadium Radio, Tony A in full effect. Stay tuned, watch, listen. This is how we doing it over here.
Yo, what up? I'm out here. This Big Daddy Swoles. I'm jamming with my man, Tony A the Wizard, out here on Roadium Radio. The podcast is off the hook. Check us out.
This is DJ Clientele, and you are listening to Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
Yeah, this Baby Bounce here with Tony A the Wizard. You are now tuned in to the Roadium Radio. We do it for the people. You hear me?
Mic check. Ernie G from Proper Dos. And I'm listening to Tony A, the motherfucking Wizard, on Roadium Radio. And if you don't know, you should know.
What's up, everybody? This is Soren Baker. I'm the author of the book, The History of Gangster Rap, in stores now worldwide. And you're listening to Roadium Radio, hosted by Tony A. Make sure to check it out. We talk about the Roadium mixtapes. We're here, Soren Baker, Roadium Radio.
Y'all, this is Pretty Greg, and I'm chilling with Tony the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
Hey, this is Swifty Blue. I'm right here at Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard. Stay tuned.
It's the KAS here live on Roadium Radio with the one and only Tony A the Wizard.
What up, y'all? This is Kiki Smooth, the first Mexican rapper out of Compton, rich and ruthless, and you're listening to the Roadium Radio with Tony A, the Grand Wizard, El Mago himself. Hey, Compton's in the house.
What's up? It's Quete Yes God with my Harbor Ottawa homeboy Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio. Yes God.
Hey, what's up, gente? It's your homeboy Duende. You're tuned into Roadium Radio with my homeboy Tony A the Wizard. Ya te la sabes, wey.
What up, what up? It's your boy Baldacci the Beast, F for Music, face of LA. Right here at Roadium Radio. Make sure y'all tune in. Your boy Tony A the Wizard.
This is Kelvin Anderson, owner of the world famous VIP Records. And you listen to my man Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
Yeah, what up? It's Lil Black, you the brown super baller, and you checking out Roadium Radio with the homeboy Tony A the Wizard.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy OG Big Wicked, Real Ones Apparel, Orange County. Out here with my boy Tony A the Wizard, Roadium Radio. Don't make sure to peep it. Peace.
Que tranza raza, aquí su servidor, Sinful el Pecador, and you listening to Roadium Radio with my boy Tony A the Wizard.
Check, what's up? It's your boy Capital I Man from the Mexican Crew. And you're tuning into Roadium Radio with my boy Tony A the Wizard. This motherfucker's a legend. Bah!
What's up, y'all? This is Chris the Glove, and you're watching the Roadium Radio Show on Tony Vision on YouTube.
What's up? This is Mr. D on Roadium Radio, kicking back with the homeboy, Tony A.
Yo, this is Fancy the Boss. Tune in on YouTube at Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
What's up? This is Leah Farsayer, aka the Dragon, the Serpent, the Spear. I'm on Roadium Radio with my boy Tony the Wizard.
Hey man, Mick B and Eric B, the Baker Boys in the house, hanging out with Roadium Radio and the one and only Tony the Wizard. Tony the Wizard, aka Kylo Ren, right here on YouTube, Sundays and Wednesdays. Tony Vision, subscribe now. Tony Vision, yeah.
Boys, big baby. What's good with it? This is Old Creep, aka Jay Stompanato. I'm putting it down for Orange County on the Roadium Radio Show by West Coast legend DJ Tony A. We up and out this bitch.
What's up with it, dog? It's West Coast Gilly on Roadium Radio with the legend Tony A the Wizard on Tony Vision. You know what it is, West Coast to the fullest. Believe that.
What's up, everybody? This is Stefan Orier listening to Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Doughboy Tony. You tuned into Roadium Radio with West Coast legend Tony A the Wizard.
What up? It's your boy Lottie the G, straight out of Santa Ana, CA, and we right here live in the mix with the West Coast legend Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio, Tony Vision on YouTube.
Yo, what's up, world? This is Cool 187, above the law in the building. And you tuned into Roadium Radio with my man Tony A the Wizard.
What's up? This is Darren Vegas. You're on Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard. Real West Coast hip hop history right here.
Yo, what up? Sleepy Malo in the house, here at the Roadium Radio with my boy Tony A the Wizard, giving us our voice back. One of the realest motherfuckers I know.
What's up, homie? It's homie Frankie Quinones, aka Creeper from Cholo P, and you're listening to Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio. That's what's up right there.
Hey, yo, what's up, man? It's Scooter the Savage. I'm right here with Tony A the Wizard, Roadium Radio. Everybody stay tuned, man. It's a motherfucking hit.
Yo, shout out to Roadium Radio, Tony A the Wizard, your boy Pablo Nunez right here in the studio. Be about it, people.
¿Qué onda, muchacho? Ahí viene este miro. Kimo the Blaxican and Negrito de Los Angelitos, and you're checking out that Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
¿Qué hubo, raza? This is Wicked from the brown side here on Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard. You know.
What up? It's your homeboy Infinite TGM, chilling with Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio. Make sure you guys go check that out.
What up, everybody? This is Wicked Baby Doll, and I'm chilling with Tony A at Roadium Radio. Check it out. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow him on Instagram.
What's good? It's your boy Spanky Loco, and you tuning in to Roadium Radio with that motherfucking legend, Mr. Tony A. You know what time it is, West.
Hey, what up? This Rebello the Dawn.
And this Dominator.
And we came straight from the 805 ready to slap that motherfucking meat on your grill, bitch.
Roadium Radio, Central Coast Click.
What up? What up with it? It's your boy OG Magoo, Los Angeles airbrush artist, Big Chillin' on site with the homie Tony the Wizard on Roadium Radio. All gas, no brakes. Let's get it.
Man, you now listening to LA Icon, man, right here live with Tony A, the motherfucking wizard on Roadium Radio.
What's up? This is Esadaz, the Spanish Fly, with that reintroduction right here on Roadium Radio with my boy, the wizard, Tony A.
Yeah, what up? It's the Spanish Fly MC, Big MOC, Mr. Most MC, on the Roadium Radio Show, baby, with Tony A, the Grand Wizard. Let's go.
Johnny D from Spanish Fly on Roadium Radio. Your one and only Theo with the giant Cheeto.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Trish Toledo, and I'm over here with Tony A, John motherfucking ELKINS, and DG Media at Roadium Radio. Make sure you tune in every Wednesday and Sunday at 7 p.m.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl Blanca. Bobby D presents Uncle Snoop's Army. Chilling right here at Roadium Radio with Tony A, the Wizard. Make sure you tune in Wednesdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. on YouTube.
Yo, this is Daniel Jones, the D to the motherfucking G Media Clips. Here with your boy, Tony A the Wizard on the Roadium Radio Show.
Check, 1 2 1 2. This is Roger Live, and you are in tune to the sounds of Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio West Coast.
Yo, what's up? This is John motherfucking ELKINS, and you're tuned into Roadium Radio with my homeboy, DJ Tony A the Wizard.
What up, West Coast and all hip-hop fans? This is your girl, Violet Brown, and I'm here with Tony A the Wizard. And if you're rolling with us right now, that means that you love West Coast hip-hop. And if you want to know the real deal from the real players, the real people behind the scenes, you better pick up Tony's new film, Roadium Mixtape Documixery. You get it by going to documixery.com. You better get this, and I want to do a special shout out and a rest in peace to my man Steve Yano. I'm out.
We're back now at the Jack Off Hour on Roadium Radio, and I am your host, Tony A the Wizard, with the podcast that slaps you across your fat ass with a fat dick. I hope you grab yourself a Modelo and you got your popcorn ready, because we're going to jump right back into these cachetes with AI. AI, how are you?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great right now. How you feeling, big dog?
Oh, I'm good, man. I saw you smoke a big-ass leño outside. Was that you?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Little medication stick. That's all it is.
That was some Cheech and Chong shit right there, homie. The cops even pulled you over.
Man, I'm feeling good, though. I'm feeling good. Honestly, I'm telling you, I feel at home right here. I love the vibes.
Good.
And it's just,
How many beers have you had today? No lie.
You know what? Okay, so earlier I had 3 tall cans. That faded away earlier because I sweated it all out already, so it's already out. Right now, maybe about 4 regular cans.
4 cans, so maybe let's do the math.
Más o menos, almost a 12-pack.
Okay.
Más o menos.
Okay, that's in moderation.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so you spend about 15 G's, bro. You create your own little studio.
Mm-hmm.
At this time, what is your girl thinking? Is she thinking like your ass is crazy? Like, or does she see it coming along? Like, what was her thoughts?
You know what? No, you hit her in the down. She definitely did. She was like, "What? Well, what are you gonna do?" Like, she goes, "Okay, so you're gonna make me. What's the plan?" Because she see her work. What I like about my wife, I don't want to say she's like my mom, but she's very like. So, what are you gonna do? What's the plan? Like, how are you gonna move this? What's your goal? What do you plan on doing out of all? I said, "Well, look, I already got 2 artists that do hip hop. I'm gonna work with them, see what I can build with them." And kind of go from there. I really don't know because I don't know the steps to what's next. I just know I like to make beats. I like to get in there, record them, and kind of learn that process. So for a tough while, man, I'll say about 3-4 years, she was kind of on me like, "Oh, you're doing too much music, man. Like, you're in there every day. You don't get into sleep about 2 a.m. You have to wake up at 7. Like, you're not getting your sleep." I said, "I'll go to sleep right away." But her thing was, "You're always in there." I said, I gotta put my work in. I gotta start perfecting this craft, start getting in. So she buried me for a while, and then now for the last 4 years, she's been seeing money coming in, and now she's like, you're gonna do another. Okay, I'll go do another session. How much are you gonna get for this session?
Yeah.
So,
Dope.
but like I said, she's very strong. She's supportive. I'm gonna be honest. If it wasn't for her being there with me, I don't know how far I would have gone to this point. But she's really an anchor of what I do, man. She watches the kids while I'm working, and like I tell her, I just so happen to pick a profession that I like that's fun.
Yeah.
So she, it was tough at first because, like I said, it was an understanding part. She didn't know how to really go about it. It was new to both of us, but she hanged in there, man.
Okay. Now, from the time that you had your equipment, how soon after that did you start producing for, would you say, rappers, singers, however you started?
Okay, so it took me about a serious 7 years.
7 years.
7 years, and I'm gonna say why. There's a lot of fallouts in that time. People that would come in, and then all of a sudden just wouldn't show up no more. They just stopped doing music. To this day, I don't know why. So I started meeting Smitty at a very young age. I met him when he was 17 years old.
Okay.
And this kid, man, was just a spitter. Like, I remember the first song I heard from him, he made a Christmas song. But it was like on some crazy, like, the fuck? What'd you say on that record?
Right.
So I started working with him. I started building records with him, right? And we started getting, back then when King Little G wasn't popping, he was starting to notice us. And a lot of people started noticing who we were. Then we linked up with Cosme. Cosme put me on game on everything. I mean, this guy's worked with everybody. He's worked with Thump Records. He's worked Industries and everything. And he goes, how come you're not charging for your beats?
So you were giving them away for free or what?
Pretty much.
Why?
Because they said they were going to keep my name and blow me up and we're going to blow together. Honestly, I went through the whole cliche bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
I ain't going to lie. I'm going to put your name up there. You're going to get credits. Don't worry. We're going to see. You're going to...
You know what's funny? I of course, mine was a different time. I've never fell for that bullshit. I had guys call me, leave me messages. I'll put your name at the end of the song. I'll honor your name forever. Nah, dude.
Bullshit.
Nah.
Bullshit. So it took Cosme to wake me up from that. I said, no. Tell me you're going to sell them for $200. All right. Hey, well, $200. All right. Where'd I send it to? I'm like, oh, shit. For real? All right. And just the value started building from there. So now people, come to me for work, for mixes, mastering, anything. They come to me because I'm the fast one. And I think I have one of the best sounds coming up in the game. You know what I mean? It's just sonically, just wideness. Everything is just, I like enriched sounds. Okay. I like to really, really get in there and really dig in with the sound. So, once I started getting with Cosme, then we linked up with Shadow.
Okay.
Shadow know who the hell we were. But he heard that record we sent to him from Smitty. Okay. I want to meet that fool. Bring him over to Pistol Pete's out in San Diego area. We're going to come record over here. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to meet Shadow? Fucking what, till I die? Like, I used to bump his shit back when I was young.
Right.
No fucking way. My cousin was like, yeah, fool, don't trip. He's a good camarada of mine. He likes your shit genuinely. Come on. So shout out to Shadow, man, because Shadow really, one of the first, him and YB, were the first two ones to fuck with me, to really say, nah, bro, you got something here. And when we went over there, he even said, you know what, if anybody's going to touch me lyrically, it's going to be Smitty, no one else. And from then on, that just, it grew a whole new inspiration for me, knowing that I touched someone that I genuinely love, to now I'm in this position where damn, I'm working with him, and and then opened up doors from there, man. And you guys know I already work with a lot of artists
drop some names, bro, in case people may not know.
Okay, Far Side, old school. I always want to work with him. Shout out Adam Warner. We plugged that one in with Fat Lip. Karen Rodriguez, Dope House, Be Legit, Jay Worthy, Edie Amin. Shout out to Edie Amin from the Outlaws. That's my boy. I got 2 records on his last album that he's on, that he just released, which is, I'm happy. One of the favorite ones is the one I did for him, which is him, Be Legit, and Jay Worthy. Baby Bash, Bozo, Cujo, Icon. I mixed and mastered and Icon, I have a little beef to pick with you too, because you shouted me out last time we were here, because I'm the one that mixed and mastered your goddamn album that made it sound like that. So I'm gonna say that right now, Icon. fucker. Anyways, that's my compa. That's my camarada. But yeah, I mixed and mastered his album, Cost of Living. That was awesome. I have a feature with Young Drummer Boy on that one and Compton Chapo. Bowling Movement, Shadow, Cosme. Am I missing anybody here? Shady Boy. Can't miss that. Shady Boy. Shady Boy is like my brother and me, man. Me and him make music like how you and Heisey did.
Okay.
It's just me and him, genuine. We'll go in there, talk about what we're talking about, and then we'll make a record on that.
Okay.
And like I said, he's hailing millions and millions with no marketing, no nothing. He hardly even promotes his stuff on his thing, and his fan base is so heavy, they just follow him, bro. Like,
before we get to that,
yeah.
LA Icon was here.
Yep.
And he didn't shout you out, man?
He didn't shout me. Can you believe that?
He gave a lot of shout outs that day.
I know he did. And I was like, wait, what? And so he better, if he's seeing this, I'm gonna you know.
And you know what's crazy? During the break, I was reading the comments, and somebody said that they saw him out there in LA looting a donut shop.
That's Icon. That's
Okay,
Icon,
that's
bro.
what it is.
That's
Yeah.
No, that's Icon. That he in the donut spot. He remember?
Yeah. He sent me a picture, and he had a powdered donut all over his lip. But I don't know about that, but all good, homie.
I shout out Icon.
We're just playing around.
He does a lot of our videos. He did the video for Shadow and M4 that for my album. It's a beautiful album, but he knows I'm gonna give him shit about it. But no, that's my boy. That's Icon's one of those guys that you just kind of have to know who he is.
Yeah.
And know how his little joking around is.
No, he's cool dude, man.
He's the #1 troller on Facebook, but other than that, he's good.
You know, I like all the conspiracy that we talked about, because he told me he's a big conspiracy guy. So
a lot.
Yeah.
That fool compare everything.
Yeah, I know.
You lose a lighter, and you give a conspiracy about why that lighter was lost.
Well, he thinks Harvey, what's his name, Einstein or Harvey Weinstein or
Weinstein, yeah, Harvey Weinstein. Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Epstein. There you go.
Who in the hell's Harvey?
That's the guy that used to touch the. No, see, that's the. He used to touch the actors. He used to sexually harass them.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, remember Terry Crews? Remember Terry Crews? He came out crying about he touched me and he wanted me to do. Remember that big old fool talking about a little guy trying to grab him? Well, come on, guys, slap him. But that's the power.
Okay, he thinks Jeffrey Epstein or whatever his name is, he's still alive.
Yeah.
So,
yes. I gotta watch that one.
All good. All right, listen. Shady Boy, tell us about Shady Boy. How did you meet him? What happened? Tell us about his views. Tell us everything.
Okay, so Shady Boy, I met him. I want to say he was already retired. He wasn't doing music no more. He was helping. I remember he was helping two artists. And he was doing music. I remember he was telling me he was doing music here and there. He had reached out to me one day. I didn't know nothing about him. He had reached out, hey, my boy, I'm liking the beats that you're putting up, the lives that you're putting up with your beats, bro. I'm really feeling that soul sound. At that moment of time, I was doing a lot of soulful records, right? So I was sampling some dope, like something that J. Cole would pop on, right?
Okay.
And he was like, I like those records you're doing. He wrote a lot of poetry. Because I want to get something on there, bro. I don't, I was like, all right, cool. So, all right, let me, and one thing I always kept it with him, Bozo and everybody else, I kept it real. I said, look, my plate's full right now. Let me get at you when my plate's a little more empty, because if not, I'm gonna be that guy that you're considered a lagger.
Right.
Not that I want to, it's just I might not have enough time to, right? So I kept it real with them in that way, and he was like, all right, I appreciate you, bro. Get at me when you can. So finally, I heard this record that he was, I don't know where he recorded it, but it sounded really modern, really dope. I was like, hey, bro, that was you? He goes, yeah. You know what, bro? Come in the studio, G. I want to see what we can do.
Okay.
Just come in. So we came in, and that was it.
Really?
Clicked. Yeah, our personalities clicked off. Our views on things clicked off. The sounds, the way he worked, the way I worked, it's just, it complemented each other. And now we got people dropping us messages about how we saved their lives, or how, dude, that record right there, he put it in so perspective. I was feeling like that, but I like how he's still hanging on, so I decided to hang on. And fuck, man, those messages, honestly, those hit me the most, because I never thought I'd touch somebody with the music that we do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't think it would get to that point. So when people are like, hey, man, your shit's dope, Letter to God. Letter to God's one of those big ones that took off on Latin Beast. I mean, it took off.
Okay, can you, Letter to God, can you name a couple of ones that other people may, so they can look them up?
Yeah, so we have Letter to God that took off on Latin Beast. Shout out to Latin Beast. My boy Tones, that's my boy. On God, which is a film that Icon filmed, which he talks about some deep depression stuff, but it's like really, really, he modernizes so well that you can relate to it, which people do go through a lot of that. So he painted the picture on that. That's almost, I think that might already be 1 million. And then he hit Let It Go. On God.
Okay.
On God, I think it's like almost at 900,000 views, and I think that's another one that Icon filmed. So we have those three, and then we have my YouTube channel that it's just the audio that he's hitting hundreds of thousands of views on, like on a record called So I Say Goodbye. We just dropped an album called Dreaming in the Shadows, which is, man, like, if you guys hear the every song to me in that album is like a specific feeling.
Okay.
Because you remember your sessions, right? You can hear a song and be like, I remember that session. I remember how I felt that day.
Yeah.
If that's what the album reminds me of. Like when I hear a song, like, oh my God, I remember that day. I remember how I was feeling that day. He was feeling, and we made that record. So that it's special in that way. And like I said, the last album On God already hit over 2-point-something million streams. No promo, Tony. Nobody in the big end sharing our stuff. Even artists that fuck with Shady Boy that are big, they wouldn't share stuff. We don't care. But I'm just saying, it was just us. No marketing. I can imagine if he had a tool behind him.
How long have you guys been working on?
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah, 2 albums, few singles, few.
And the albums, I'm sorry to cut you off. The albums, people can still purchase.
Oh
these,
yeah. They're available spot everywhere. The first album was called On God, Shady Boy. Listen to that one. That was a classic. And then the new one's called Dreaming in the Shadows.
Okay.
And that one, like I said, they're all special, man, because they're all parts of his life that he's like, hey, Alex, I got a record I just felt the other day from something I went through. When can we go in?
Okay.
I'm open this thing. Cool. Have a beat ready. What are you feeling? Boom. Let me hear what you got. Let me hear the hook. He comes in. Boom. Perfect. We're going to record and we're done.
Dope.
You know?
Now, for the people that are listening that are producers, they're most likely probably curious on what you use.
Yeah.
What does your studio look like? Do you mind sharing?
Yeah. So okay. So all right. So right now I have 2 monitors. I use curved monitors. The only reason I use those is because I do film editing, but I also like to have, for people that have Pro Tools, one side is my editing side, which is going to be my waveforms and everything, where I clip and drop and do all my little edits quick. My other side is my mixing field, which is all the sliding bars and compressions and all that. So I like to separate both of them for workflow. Now I have a big keyboard, M Audio, with the pads and everything. That's what I used to play on my pianos and basses. But most of my stuff is in my VSTs, like Omnisphere, Spectronics, Contact 6. Anybody that knows those VSTs, those 3 VSTs can cost you anywhere between $6,000-$7,000. But it has every single sound you need. From a violin, how it glides to it moves to
Horner clavinet,
everything.
Fender Rhodes,
everything. Fender bass, exactly from the way of the pluck sound.
Right.
You can even control that sound. Everything. So, I like that. I like the fact that I'm able to transition that from the keyboard into that. And then, like I said, I have, and probably like you, I have thousands and thousands of kicks and snares and perfect packs that I put into my own sound bank that I use as my go-tos now.
Okay.
So like if I have a trap sound, I already know where to go with that one. And it's all about changing the hi-hat pitch or whatever. If you have like a dope soulful sound, you already know where to go to get those nice, cool drums that sound real soulful, real airy. So it really depends, you know what I mean? But, I use a lot of that. My main focus really, because I'm an engineer, I like to focus on the mic. So I use a Newman mic. I use a Avalon preamp.
Okay.
I love the Avalon, it's beautiful. And then Apollo, right, the Universal Audio. And then I invested into those VSTs as well. And then the rest, like I said, bro, it's just really...
No drum machine no more?
You know what? No. I you know what? I used to love the drum machine. I used to love the punch of it. I still do. I love everything. It just takes me too damn long to get my idea out. You know what I'm saying? So for some people, it works. Some people like to take that time. Just to me, I want to get my idea out because I'm already working from I'm not working it just to make the beat. I want to make the record.
Right.
I'm not here just to make the beat. I'm in here to start and finish that record.
Okay.
And so, once you record somebody, then post-production comes, right? Post-production is big because now you have to post-produce that record. You can just leave it like that. You have to do the drops, maybe some filter points, maybe your little signature at the end or your tag at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So you still got to do all those parts. And then, as you do all that, you're getting it ready to get mastered. And then that's another field I studied too in mastering. So,
okay. So you're the jack of all trades then?
You know what, man? I guess, I mean,
Hey, right now is the time to talk, homie. Because ain't nobody gonna talk for you.
You know what, bro? It's because I don't know. How do you feel when you did hit records? I know you did,
Well,
right?
I don't think I did hit records.
You did hit records,
dude.
bro. Come on, everybody was jamming to that, bro.
Okay.
Come on.
For me,
see how you act though, but see how you're like you don't know how to really because you have hit records. See, that's how I feel when people say you're dope, bro. I'm like, But we know we dope, Tony. You know what I'm saying? It's just we're humble, bro. We work.
Well, okay. Let's continue.
Okay.
So now, who are you working with now? Because I know you brought 2 of your artists, if I'm correct.
Yeah. So the whole team consists of Vicious, Kid Vicious, Mason King, a dope singer that's written for Eric Bellinger, that's working with High Tone, that's working with a lot of people. He was even an actor back then, Billy D. We're working something out with Empire right now.
You're not talking about Billy D, Colt 45. Lando Calrissian? Not that Billy.
No,
D.
not him. No.
Okay.
No, not him. Yeah, no, not him. I'm like, Colt 45. That's Billy didn't tell me that life. No, but this guy is dope. You can catch him on his record, My City, with Bozo, Lido P, him. I mean, this guy, dude, is just a real soulful singer, but has today's sound. Like, this guy is a chameleon. I call him a chameleon, dude, because this guy you play him a record and you want him on the hook, he'll have the hook ready in 10 minutes. Put me in. Right? Oh. He'll stack something. All right, stack me on left and right, Alec. He already knows how it works. Next thing you know, 10 stacks in. Holy shit, the fuck? How do we create this hook right now? And it's just, his falsettos, everything is just rich. It's beautiful. So, like I tell him, I just think he had the bad people around him at that time that didn't allow him to grow, man.
I think
it sucks,
we all did
man.
at one point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just sucks because he should have been up there, or at least a writer in a big heavy field, which he did. So Billy D, we have Open Mind, very soulful artist, hip hop. He's worked with what's that? Sublime's DJ. He produces too. I forgot his name though. Sorry, I don't disrespect, but he's really dope too. He lives up in the hills too, and he produces a lot for him too, and he's dope. Then we have Aaron Kennedy, another dope artist that wrote some of the song for a record. Have you heard of a crew called? What was the crew called? Go Crew, or what are they called? Another song's called The Crew.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the song or the artist, but anyways, it's a big song. It became a big hit. Millions and millions of streams. He wrote part of that, but guess what? He didn't know the industry.
Right.
They only paid him $2,500 with no royalties.
Yeah.
All that money they could have made.
Yeah.
And so he didn't have that smart people to be behind. Said, nah, this is epical. He's 50% of your written. We're gonna demand more. If he has somebody behind him, he would be able to demand a little bit more. So I'm working with artists like that. Working with Lido P. Who else? Shady Boy. Am I forgetting anybody here, guys? M4. Oh, I can't forget about M4.
Now, are you still sampling it all?
Yeah. Okay. Still sample off record. If I'm just in a quick move or like I just want to hear anything, I'll go to YouTube. And what I do is I'll hear something like a crazy sample, and I'll just keep digging within that sample. And then anything that doesn't have a lot of views, I'll listen to it. And if it's dope, I'll mess with it.
Okay.
Okay. So sample I do. I share melodies with other producers. Like if producers have melody packs, I'll share with them that. So we'll exchange on those. I'm pretty sure. I know DJ Khalil talked about this. DJ Khalil's with Aftermath. I remember him talking about him always sharing with Jake One and Ninth Wonder and all them different sample packs that they didn't work with that they would swing on to their people and be like, hey, you fuck with them. And if you can make a record with them, they're yours,
Right.
So, I do work with that, and then I create my own. So,
okay.
So it really depends on what the session depends on,
Okay.
So.
A couple of questions.
Yeah.
Two more, because we're kind of going down on our time, but I have to ask, who are some of the producers today that are out, whether they're popular or not, that you like their stuff? Like, I like to listen to their shit. I don't care if they're old school or if they're even new school.
So any level?
Yeah, any level.
Right now?
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. Well, okay. So I leave DJ Quick and Dr. Dre out of everything in Timbaland. but they're just geniuses. You can't really compare them. They're the Elton Johns of the game. So when it comes down to producers like that, those are my three main guys. Now, when we're talking about influences that I had and people that I listen to today, and even go back to records, High Tech, Ninth Wonder, Jake One, Pharrell, Boy Wonder. I like the way he goes in and starts sampling the new way, the new wave form. 40 from Drake's producer, how he created his own levels and his own low-fi sound. Man, there's so many of them. DJ Khalil, Focus, even cats like DJ Dominator.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got to acknowledge cats like too that keep pushing the envelope, but keep pushing the funk sound, the essence of the funk sound, and still making it dope. So you got to include cats like that. Talent, YB's producer, he's also a producer. Shout out to him. Steve Vicious, cat that used to work a lot with Shadow and Uno and all them.
I noticed you didn't mention one. Maybe you're not a fan of his, or maybe you just might have forgotten. Not necessarily one of my favorites, but he's a lot of people on their top 10. Kanye West.
You know what? I'm going to say, yeah, if I were to go top 10, I would have to put Kanye West in there, and I'm glad you reminded me of that, because now that opened up another gate of producers. I like the way he pronounced it. The only reason I don't really dig him the last few records, he was getting creative, but it was just a little too wild. I stopped him at 808 and Heartbreaks, right? Because that album he dedicated to his mom, and there's a lot of feeling of it. But anything previous to that, like Graduation, Late Register, you can't compare any of the records he's done to that.
Okay.
That the way he sampled, the way he, the cadence, the way you just can't match that. So, yeah, Kanye West, man, that's another one I forgot about.
Yeah.
Kanye West would definitely be one of them.
Now, you don't rap or sing, do you?
I do hooks.
Really?
Yeah, and I help with ideas too. When we're in the studio, like if I feel like I've been doing a lot of hooks lately. I did one for Idi Amin. It's called Moonlight, record for him. He off the strength, Idi Amin heard. He was like, "Dude, who's doing the hook?" I'm like, "It's me." He goes, "No, it's not. It's me." What the?
Like straight voice or auto tone or?
That one's straight voice. There's times when I do auto tune.
Okay.
But when I do the straight voice, if I do auto tune, it's not too good. The robotic sound is to just fix the little roboto curve that I might not be able to hit. So I know how to run that to run correctly too for singers, not just to sound robotic. So, but yeah, I've done it with and without.
Okay. Give me at least 5 rappers today that are on the radio that you listen to.
Ooh, okay. 5 rappers. Migos. I like Migos. Okay, don't hold me against that, Tony. J. Cole. Roddy Rich. It's Roddy Rich, man. Just that guy's freaking crazy. Meek Mill, and believe it or not, Post Malone.
Okay. Now let's ask you, name me 5 Chicano rappers that you listen to.
Right now?
Yes.
And I'm gonna give you genuine. I'm not gonna even lie or fluff anything up for anyone. So, Shadow. My hope, well, even though they put some of us in the Chicano rap, I'm gonna say my team, because I do a lot of records. But aside from my team, it would be Shadow, Cujo, Bozo, YB, and Shady Boy.
Okay.
Shady Boy. Those are the ones that I listen to a lot, that I feel the connection of what they're trying to deliver. With Cujo, right now, he's in a situation of coming back to music, so he's trying to hit you guys with the ultimate bars. But he also came in deep with the record we did, which is ICU, which is also a deep record that I love because he made for his son.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just an incredible record. So, but with him, he's trying to come in with that bars, and I like that because he's trying to inject people with bars and making sure people understand that you got to still have bars in this game to kill it. Bozo, he has a good movement, good saying, good following, but his message means a lot, and so that's the reason I picked him specifically. And shout out just because he's a legend, man. That's my guy, So
yeah,
those are the guys I would say I listen to right now in the Chicano rap.
That's good. That's good. Now I'll take it a step further. Would you buy their music? Yeah.
Yeah. Either stream it. You know, I do the streaming. I bought Shadow's last 2 albums he did with Rascal. I bought Cujo's. I don't know because I do most of Cujo's music, so he don't just stream. Bozo I just stream because I did the last 7, 8 records with him. Shadow, yes, I bought his records. I've been buying his records since I've been a fan of him. So yeah.
Are you a fan of Misfit?
Yeah, you know what? Misfit's another guy in there that people been wanting me to collab with. We just haven't found the real time to get in there. At some point we will. I know at some point we are going to get in there and do a record. We just haven't, because he's doing his thing. He's trying to reach his area and I'm trying to reach mine. So we haven't been in a point where like, hey, bro, let's just kind of get in. We've talked though. We've chopped it up. Hopefully soon, man. If he's out there listening, hopefully we get one in there.
Now I'm going to ask you live on Roadium Radio. I want to hook up with you. I want to check out your studio.
Okay.
And I want to go over some ideas with you. I usually like to work alone.
I'm being real with you. Yeah, no, I know.
And I want to kick some ideas. And if we come to an agreement and I like the way everything sounds, then I want you to, because I talked to Dominator and he's helping me, but I want to put together a soundtrack. I don't want no rapping.
Yeah, okay.
Just all instrumental for this Chicano rap documentary.
Okay.
Because I get a lot of rappers that tell me, I'll give you my songs. Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't want your songs.
No, instrumentals is best.
Just instrumentals.
Yeah. I'm with that.
I'm saying? Okay.
I'm with that. Bro, right here now.
Okay.
Official.
Now, at this time, we have to say goodbye.
Yeah.
But you get to give shout outs. So take your time.
Okay.
Drink another beer if you want. Whatever.
All right. So first shout out I'm going to have to give is always going to be to the house. So shout out to Roadium Radio. Shout out to Tony Vision. Shout out to the crew engineering. Shout out to the homie shooting the pics. This is all a team effort. So shout out to you guys, man, because the hospitality is real. I always go out vibes. Producers, we go out vibes. And so the vibe here is awesome, great. I love everything because I have my Funkos in my studio too.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't show this to my son. This Thor thing here, don't show it to him. He's going to cry because he want to take it home. So,
okay.
Son, if you're watching this, you can't have it. But shout out to my whole team. You know what I mean? The whole ELP squad, RVL, Vicious, Mason King, Aaron Kennedy, Lido P, Cosme, Open Mind, Billy D, Shady Boy, Tic Tac. I mean, there's a lot of people that are involved in our movement that we do, from Janetti, from our street team, to Mondo, to everybody. So shout out to them first, because they're the people that really push us.
Okay.
And it wouldn't be shit without people really pushing us, right? Shout out to the engineers out there that really working to perfect your artist's sound, that really do it genuinely to make some records and make some pop. And shout out to homie Graphic by Nature. I told him I'd give him a shout out. The homie's working on some records with me, so we're doing some stuff with them. But other than that, man, that's it really. Shout out to the wifey. She holds me down, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Girls are powerful and they hold us down. That's what it is. Other than that, man, let's keep pushing good music. Let's push this to another level. I don't like mediocrity. And if I see mediocrity, I usually like to provide good advice on how to get bigger. I never put them down, but I only push what I feel is the top of the notch that's going to make us look good, and that's just what it is. So
okay. Now let me ask you this last question. Anything that I didn't ask you? Was there anything that I left out?
They left out, right? Well, I like in and out.
How was your day?
No, my day was good. You know what? My day was good today, dude. Like I said, my day's good every day, man. Just being able to wake up and
that's a blessing within itself.
It's a blessing, man, because we missed the whole point. Like, we missed the whole point that we get to wake up to our kids, where other people are fighting to see their kids, and we wake up to take a good shower where other people wish they can take. Like, I grew up poor. You know what I'm saying? I grew up poor. Like, everybody knows my background. My hometown knows my background, and everything is a blessing from here up, man. I don't want too much. I don't want too less. I want what I deserve.
All good.
You feel me?
Good. So, you gonna hang out with us?
Hell yeah.
All right, cool. Because not next break, but the following one, I'm gonna start drinking. So,
I'm here.
Hell yeah.
Here, baby.
Hell yeah. So, once again, thank you for coming. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to interview you. And hang out with us, bro.
Yeah, I'm here, brother. Hey, Roadium Radio, man. This is gonna be the spot's gonna blow up. I'm calling it right now.
Hey, everybody, you guys should be home watching Roadium Radio because it's curfew time. Yeah. You guys should not be on the streets, okay? Listen to your governor. Anyways, other than that, make sure you call somebody, text somebody, pay somebody, slap the shit out of somebody, let them know that Pablito is in the motherfucking building, okay? Somebody asked me, is that Pablito from Hitlerlick? There's only one Pablito.
Only one, baby.
There can only be one, and we'll be back. Yes. Go get yourself a Modelo, slap your lady in the ass, get your popcorn ready, and be back.
Fuck yeah.
To Roadium Radio, and I am your host, Tony A. the Wizard. We started a GoFundMe page because we need you to help us meet our goal. And our goal is to release a Chicano rap documentary. And we need you to be a part of this. Everyone who contributes will have certain incentives offered to them. For an example, I'll name one. Your name will be on the credits of the film. Everyone who gives, everyone who contributes, their name will be on the credits. That's just one thing that we have to offer. But yet, if you read the description, you see other incentives for your contribution. If you've seen the Roadium Mixtape documentary, you will not be disappointed with this documentary, shining light on Chicano rap, the Chicano culture. It is something that can be used as an educational tool now and in the future. So once again, help us meet our goals so that we can start production. And remember this, we have a voice and we will be heard. You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch.
Roadium Radio.
This is your deal on Roadium Radio. Grab a seat on my knee with Tony A. the Wizard.
Hey, Tony, drop that. What, please?
I bet.
My name is the Croft, the C-R-A-W-F-O-R-D, the poet high C. Tony A. the Wizard, just as cool as a visit. Picking out his tongue, stabbing pussy like a lizard. Ooh, so sorry, homie, I didn't mean to say that. Steve is in the house. Come on, won't you play that funky dope beat? You know you gotta throw me some Spanish ass crop coming straight from the Roadium.
You are now about to witness Tony A.
Get funky. Tell her where you from. You don't think I'm living, well, fuck you.
Coolin' on a Saturday night in LA. Yo, feeling kinda fancy.
Stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. What the hell are you looking for? Can a young man make money anymore? Wear my jeans and like freaking on the floor? Or is it my job to make sure I'm poor? Disruption, disorder will nourish, not justify. Those that live at the FBI, look at mama's baby.
Hey folks, it's your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop, and I'm kicking it live with my man Tony A. Check out his latest documentary on documixery.com. It's the bomb. It's all about my man Steve Yano and his contribution that he created from the Roadium swap that's still alive right here on Redondo Beach Boulevard. Check it out, y'all. documixery.com. My man Tony A. Much love, y'all. Much love, Steve. Peace.
We're back, everybody, to Jack Off Hour, and I'm Tony A. the Wizard on Roadium Radio with the podcast that slaps your culture fat ass with a fat dick. And don't ask me to repeat that twice, because I might not be able to. But other than that, you know what? My next special guest is somebody that I believe when I first heard of him, I thought that this was the man that was capable of taking this genre of music to another level. And that's why I invited him here, because I wanted to talk about what happened and is it still possible. So you guys don't want to hear me talk, but without further ado, please allow me to introduce the one and only Hitter Lick Records, Pablito.
Yes, sir.
How are you, my friend?
Good, man. Thanks for having me, Tony.
You know,
Appreciate you.
I don't know if Hitter Lick is still available or still around, but most people were identifying you as Pablito from Hitter Lick, so that's why I introduced you that way.
Yeah.
But how was the drive over here, man?
It was good, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of cops on the freeway, but it wasn't too bad. No traffic.
Okay. All right. And if you could just speak a little bit closer to the mic, if you don't mind, please.
Sorry about that.
Other than that, you been catching anything good on TV since we've been in quarantine?
Last night I finished the Jeffrey Epstein series.
Tell me about it, man.
Oh wow, you got to see that. It's a must. It was pretty heavy. That guy was, you know, quite a character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now I think there's like, what, 4 episodes?
I believe so, yeah.
And let me ask you this. You believe all that shit was true?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, especially like with Prince Andrew and, you know, Bill Clinton, everybody just lying out their teeth. You know, what would that poor girl lie for?
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, what's she going to gain or benefit out of that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
did they give a list of everybody that used to go over there and chill with him?
I mean, I'm sure there was a lot more.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, you know, they named a few big ones. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I mean, Harvey Weinstein was in there.
Weinstein?
Well, you all know what happened with him. You know, they washed him up. But, you know, I mean, just guys like Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton and I mean, you know, just
a bunch of big wigs.
I mean, come on, you know.
Wow. And did they get into talking about the little kid that they would have over there, or supposedly the little girls, or?
I mean, they just had their way. You know, they were just trafficking these young chicks. You know what I mean? You know, they were all underage. You know, under the guise of just coming to, you know, give this guy a massage, he'll pay you $200, and then it just would all go south once they were there. You know?
Yeah. Other than that, did you ever get to watch I watched a couple of documentaries that I really enjoy off of Netflix. It's kind of some weird shit. Waco is the way.
Oh, that's another one too. I saw. You know, that was pretty crazy too.
Yeah, that one. Did you ever see Tiger King?
That was another good one too. You know,
that dude.
I mean, we've been off for quite some time, so you know, I've probably watched everything. You know,
okay,
that interests me as far as that goes. You know,
that'll work. So now, other than that, what is one thing that you can say that you miss doing that possibly you were doing before this quarantine took place?
Just being at the office every day working.
Yeah.
You know, just, you know, try to get ahead, you know. And I'm just a workaholic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, the weekends to me are not weekends. You know, if I got to work on Sunday, I'm going to work on Sunday. You know what I mean? Just, I'm just really serious about, you know, what I do and what I'm doing now and with whom I'm doing it with, you know.
Yeah, yeah. That's one thing that I will say. We never had a chance to meet in the 90s, but I've heard so many things about you. When I would talk to Jerry, it was, oh, Pablito. That name was always around in the industry. Oh, he's a workaholic. He's always working. He's always this. He's always busy. He's always that. So that was always a good positive thing that I always heard from you, especially coming from Jerry Heller. Now, where did you originally grow up at?
In the Florence district of Los Angeles and basically all through like South Central Los Angeles.
Okay.
So I'm a native.
Okay. And you a sports guy?
I was when I was younger, you know what I mean? You know, baseball was my thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I played Little League at Roosevelt Park for several years. You know, I was just a baseball junkie, you know?
Okay. You have any favorite baseball teams, like professional?
I mean, I'm a Dodgers fan, you know, who isn't, you know?
Right, exactly,
You know?
exactly. You know, there was a meme that said, it had a Dodgers cap on the meme, and it says, if your boyfriend doesn't have one of these, you have a girlfriend. So and I believe it's true.
Right.
So, Dodgers all day, baby. Hopefully they come back strong.
That's right.
Now, you being in the music industry for many, many years, what type of music did you grow up? Because if I understand correctly, you came from a music family.
Well, you know, my dad was a musician. Okay. You know, my dad grew up in like City Terrace, East LA, you know, Montebello area later on. And he was a musician, you know, and back then, you know, he would say that, you know, all the parties in high school, you know, gigs and whatnot, was all live bands. You know what I mean? It wasn't, you know, like we have DJs now, and, you know, back then there was no DJs. It was just all live music, you know, so my dad was in a pretty popular high school band, and, you know, he made, I guess they had this Battle of the Bands in LA back then, and, you know, they were like one of the final bands to make it. And, you know, so he heavily influenced me in music, you know, at a very young age, you know what I mean? You know, my dad was into everything, you know what I mean? It's like this, I see it like this. If you really sit here and try to say, oh, well, you know, I just really like, you know, country or R&B or whatever, I mean, to me, it's kind of hypocritical. There's just so much good music out there just to say that you just like this one, you know? So, you know, I grew up on, like, he was a big, like, Jimi Hendrix and Doors fan, you know, like A through Z, you know? And, you know, my dad was a hippie, you know, and, you know, but at the same token, he was playing Teddy Pendergrass and, you know, Earth, Wind and Fire, you know what I mean? So it varied, you know, but just all good music, you know what I mean? You know, when music was music, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Did you at all play any instruments knowing that he
was like, you know, for a while, like, you know, me and my dad would jam, you know what I mean? Like, he'd play guitar, and I remember some of the, you know, matter of fact, one of Magoo's uncles sold us a drum set, you know what I mean? And it was missing, I think, like the floor tom and a couple tom-toms. But I had a couple cymbals and the kick and the snare and whatnot. So we would just jam, you know. My dad played guitar. He was a good musician, keyboard player. And we would just, you know, do our thing and jam and, you know, all through the night and whatnot, you know. We had a lot of good times, you know. We like in our backyard, we had this fire pit. You know, everybody buys those fire pits in Ensenada, and, you know what I mean, the ones that got like a face and whatnot, and, you know. So we would burn wood in the backyard, and just jam and, you know, just do our thing until, you know, it was time to call it a night.
How come you never continued pursuing it in music? Was it just not your thing? You just like doing it as a hobby?
I'm just really like, my attention span, you know what I mean? It's like my patience. It's like, you know, it was cool, and, you know, I just would just get into other things, you know what I mean? Other things would come up, you know, whether, you know, no matter what it was. But he just was a big influence in music all the way around. You know what I mean? Like one thing about that I could really say about him is that, you know, I was blessed to just be exposed to all the music that he, you know, showed me as I was in diapers, you know, all the way to, you know.
Okay. You know, I interviewed certain people that I would consider like West Coast OGs, even though one of them could be considered an OG from coast to coast. I interviewed like Violet Brown here.
She's an OG.
Yes. Arabian Prince.
Another one.
Lonzo, Clientele, Calvin Anderson, the owner of VIP Records. Okay. And I asked him this question, and I'm going to ask you the same thing because you're also in the music industry, and I think it's an important question. When you first heard hip hop or, you know, / rap, did you think it was going to stay, or did you think it was possibly just a fad when you first started hearing it?
I mean, I just was, it just freaked me out, you know what I mean? Because like I said, growing up, you know, it was like the Beatles and just all kind of different type of, you know, old blues groups, B.B. King and, you know, all the hippie stuff and whatnot. But when I, you know, in the street is when I learned all that music and came across all that music and Uncle Jam's Army and all that other stuff and Midnight Star and like when songs like Freakazoid came out, I mean, I just thought, you know what I mean? It was just, you know, it was a whole new world, you know what I mean? And, and I never really kind of thought if it was going to, you know, stay or go. I was just so into it, you know, that really didn't matter to me, you know what I mean? It just was just like, you know, I'm going to go with it as long as it goes, you know what I mean? Hopefully it goes forever, you know, but, you know, in music, you know, everything evolves with, you know, time and, you know, like, you know, disco was here, you know, disco's not here no more, you know? Right,
okay. Did you have your favorites during that time that you used to listen to?
It was just, I mean, just grew up on all that whole era, you know, of course, NWA, I mean, Houdini, and, you know, I could just go on and on, Biz Markie, and I was a big fan of, like, Sonic Force and African Bambaataa, and, you know, those type of groups, you know, all the stuff from the East Coast that was big that came here that, like, Tony and Julio would blow up on K-Day, you know what I mean? If it wasn't for those guys, we probably wouldn't even know who any of those groups were.
Yeah. So now, at what point, because, you know, there's so much that I want to ask you and so much that I want to cover that I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit. So, and I know this is kind of a broad question, but I want to ask, like, what encouraged you, what inspired you, what motivated you to start getting into the music industry?
Well, I mean, I've always loved music, you know, first and foremost. And I never really thought like, wow, you know, could, you know, one make a living doing this? You know what I mean? And how I was even brought into this whole scenarios through Toker and the Brown side. Okay. You know what I mean? Like I was running, I mean, I've known that guy for almost half my life. You know what I mean? Wow. Him and I were running the streets of South Central LA like there was no tomorrow. And like during those times, you know, Easy was still alive, obviously, you know what I mean? And he would always like, let's go to the studio, man, let's go to the studio. And I was into other stuff, and I really wasn't kind of tripping on the studio. You know, the studio to me was like, we would always go to the G-Spot, you know, Tony's place. And, you know, we'd go and hang out, but it would always be like, they were doing their thing, it was all dope and everything, but it'd be like hours and hours and hours, you know what I mean? We'd get out of there like 3, 4 in the morning all the time, you know, and it was cool and everything, but you know, Toker was that was his thing. You know, him and Easy were pretty inseparable. You know, and you know, he obviously was signed to Ruthless Records and Jerry and whatnot. So I guess it kind of took off from there. You know, something sparked. There was a spark, you know, that just turned on in my head or whatever you want to call it, and I just said, hey, let me just poke at this. But it wasn't until like after the fact. You know, it wasn't until like, you know, Toker was, you know, went to, you know, he had caught a murder case. He was fighting, you know, a hot one for like, you know, several years. And once he finally went to jail, and Tony and I, you know, put this situation together. You know, we brought Jerry Hill out of retirement. You know, Easy died in '95, and we brought Jerry out of retirement in the year 2000. And you know, we went at it, you know, at a top tier level. You know, and we, you know, this Chicano rap movement in the year 2000 was what we were into. We had a strong lineup. We were happy with our lineup. We had Jerry. We were doing it. You know what I mean? But unfortunately,
For the people that may not know, when we say Jerry Heller, which was Eazy's NWA's manager.
Yeah.
Right? And when we say Tony G, because sometimes a lot of people say, what Tony was he talking about? So I kind of like to clear things up.
Yeah, Tony G.
Tony G, the producer of Mentirosa, La Raza.
La Raza, yeah.
And so many other hits.
Yes.
And so is it safe to say that you met all of those guys possibly through Toker?
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's how I met, Tony and, Julio and all the rappers that were at the G spot at the time, Toker was a frequent flyer at that spot, you know what I mean? And, they were doing his first record, Tony and Julio are the ones that put his first record together,
Now, you get together with Tony, I guess you said around 2000, if I'm correct. You guys bring Jerry Heller out of retirement. And what was the plan, if you can share? Like, I know you guys wanted to attack the, if you will, the Chicano market. And did you guys talk like, Tony, we need more producers? Tony, we need Jerry, we need a studio. Can you share with us?
Well, me and Tony kind of put this together. Like, we would go back. I would go to the G spot. I don't know why I ended up going there to begin with, but we connected and we just started talking, studio and label and whatnot. And, me and Tony kicked it around for a couple minutes, and I says, okay, well, let's really do this. You know what I mean? So, I got together with, some of my people, and, we put this situation together that was something to reckon with,
Right, okay. And did it take a lot to convince Jerry to come out of retirement?
Oh, no. I mean, to be honest with you, I guess Jerry and Tony had been talking about, I guess Jerry was waiting for this deal to come through, or this type of distribution situation or something, because Jerry was down with the Chicano movement. That was what Jerry wanted to do next. You know what I mean? Jerry was about, numbers, and he was a numbers guy, and he said, demographics, let alone, there's so many of us here. In other words, he's like, his philosophy was, if we just keep popping it in the epicenter of those demographics, you're bound to hit one. So we had been kicking it around, and then, I got this studio, and it took a lot of construction, a lot of, stuff that was done there, and, we put in a nightclub and a movie theater, and had, several offices and several recording studios, and, it was quite a place,
Yeah.
And so I'll never forget this. So we were kind of like telling Jerry that, hey, we got this scenario, and we're putting this, the studio together, and we want you to come and see it, And Jerry was like a little kid, he would call us up and say, hey, man, when are you going to come? And, when do I get to see it? And, so on and so forth. We're like, we're almost there. So actually what we did is, like, we put his whole office together. I mean, we completely pimped out this whole building from top to bottom. So we really set up his office. You know what I mean? Like, we put furniture and fax and, phones and everything in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just turnkey. All I had to do was walk in, and just sit down and start working,
Right.
Down to the stationery, everything. So on each one of our doors, we had our name. Mine was P. Vasquez, and I had one, his office was right next to mine. I had one sign made by the name, and I put J. Peller, right? So the day we invited him to come to the studio, he was all happy. He drove all the way from Calabasas. We were in the Pico Union District, what I mean? So it was a little ways for him. So, he parks, and, we start walking him through this place, and he just freaking out. He can't believe his eyes, you know what I mean? And by the end of the tour, he was like, okay, man, where's my office? You know what I mean? So I handed him that sign to put on his door, and he just bugged out, you know what I mean? And from like the next day on, he would drive all the way from Calabasas, like every day, to come and get down with us.
Yeah. So now, you gave me this picture when you built this studio because I never had the opportunity. I always heard of Hitterlick. I always heard of it. I had a meeting with Jerry because Jerry would talk to me, said, we want you to be down with us. It was one phone call. I want you to be down with us. Come meet with me. We're going to need some productions. Cool, Jerry, I'm there. And this was during the time I was working with Mello from 96 to 98, but it was a little bit after that when he hit me up.
Mello was signed with us there?
Yeah. And that's what I want to get to. You had several studios in this building.
Yeah.
Several offices.
Yeah.
A nightclub.
Yeah.
A theater.
And a green room.
Yeah. All in the studio.
Yeah, it was like 30,000 square feet. You know what I mean? It was huge.
And may I ask, how much did you invest into this whole place?
Oh my God! You want me to have a heart attack and faint right here? I mean, it was a lot. You know what I mean? And
okay.
And it just hurt to see, what became of that after we put so much into it and had brought Jerry out of retirement, and I learned a lot quick, Tony, about the movement and where the state of the business was really at. You know what I mean? After putting in all that money.
Right.
You know what I mean? There was no like, oh well, let me just stop here and.
Right.
No, we went all in. We put our money where our mouths were.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The reason why I'm bringing this out and why I believe it was important for me to interview you is because there are people out there today in this Chicano rap movement that possibly had never heard of what you were trying to do with, legendary guys like Tony G, Julio G, and Jerry Heller. They don't know that this was about to take, if you will, this movement or this genre of music to a whole different other level. Because that's what Jerry always told me. He always says, what I'm doing with Pablito, I'm going to do what I did with NWA. That's what he told me. He goes, we're gonna go further. He goes, I'm gonna prove everybody that I could do this one more time with my team.
We were exactly set up for that.
Okay.
All across the board.
Yeah.
It's just.
Okay. Now, before we get to that, I have to ask you, and I believe the fans want to know. Can you give us some of the names of the artists that you guys have signed? I know it was a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, we had Frost, we had Mellow Man Ace, we had the G Fellas, which consisted of Slow Pain and Nino Brown. ALT was there. We had this one group called Eastside Ghetto, with Slim and Malice, Little Blackie.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple other I can't remember, but everybody basically in that genre stepped to us.
Yes.
When we were first coming out. And I mean, all the rappers, basically in that genre, looking to, to get a deal with us or see how they could come aboard and whatnot. But we had our hands full at the time, and we felt at the time with whom we had, will get us a good jump start,
Right. And that's what the whole talk in LA at that time was, these guys are signing every dope Chicano rapper. That was the rumor. Okay. And I knew it was true because when I got that call from Jerry, I knew it was true. Okay. And so you guys signed all these guys to Hitterlick Records. What inspired Hitterlick, the name?
I mean, at the time we were just throwing a lot of names around and Hitterlick, it just, that had that chime, and it's just something that at least I felt, I was pretty familiar with, you know what I mean? I've been hitting licks forever, you know what I mean? So we thought it was a dope name, and we ran with it, and we came up with this logo, and we put it out there.
Okay. Other than possibly a Tony G, a Julio G, what other producers, I should say, were working with you guys at the time?
Well, I mean, the only ones that kind of really we worked with, besides Tony, because we were trying to, figure out other ways or other, not only with other production, just with collabs and whatnot. We were just trying to just turn that page, But we were working with like Battle Cat,
okay,
Fred Wreck,
okay,
you know what I mean, and a couple little up and coming producers that were dope. You know what I mean?
Okay, and now,
Ronnie King was was a guy that helped us out a lot. That just a
now Ronnie King. We're talking about the keyboardist.
Ronnie King's the man.
Yeah, we're not talking about the Ronnie King that got beat up. It's funny. Much love to Ronnie King because I work with him.
Yeah,
and punk rocker looking dude. Keyboard
stand-up guy.
And the guy,
very talented guy,
mastered the mini moog. That guy could play the fucking mini moog. Yeah. He's incredible. He did a lot of my stuff on my Mellow Mayonnaise album that never came out. And so much love for him. But you guys had it all stacked. You guys were ready to go. You guys are now producing records now, or?
Yeah, we had several records on pretty much everybody. I still got several records. I probably got like 10 unreleased records, just in my garage. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I got songs with a lot of people.
Okay. Now you guys are producing records. What is it that you guys were looking for at the time? Were you guys looking to go independently, or looking for a distribution deal, looking for a record deal for some of these artists? Like, fill us in.
Well, look, obviously Jerry is going to have all the top-notch people walk through our door.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So we were dealing with guys like Irving Azoff. You know what I mean? Irving Azoff, if people don't know, at the time he was managing the top 200 groups in the world. He owned Live Nation.
Wow.
So, and one thing I'll never forget, when he came down to the studio, he started studio and he was blown away. He was like, I want to do a private party in this club with Christina Aguilera, and whatnot. But I remember, I don't know where we were, but I ended up jumping in the car with him and we drove back to the studio and Jerry was following someone else. We were having lunch or something, I don't remember. And one thing that he told me, and it was true, and and it's like, it made me really think after he said that. And I was like, wow, I'm already in already, I'm all in already. Was, he says, if I can't get you a deal, nobody can. And, he's the deal I wanted to go with because,
he was the man.
He's the man. Even to this day, you know what I mean?
Right.
He just sold the Forum with, to the guy that owns the Clippers, you know what I mean? Wow. He's partnered up with the guy that owned the Forum, you know what I mean?
So he pretty much tells you, if there's anybody that's going to get you a deal, it's going to be me.
Yeah, and if it ain't going to be me, then basically told me good luck, and he was right. Jerry did what he could with us. You know what I mean? So we got this little distribution situation with XXX, this company called XXX, and then we wanted to take it to the next level possibly. So we went with Koch. This guy by the name of Alan Grumblatt in New York, and by the time we were kind of halfway in our deal with him, it was just time to call it a day,
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and take a break, but when we come back, I want you to fill in the audience. Did that deal ever take place?
Yeah, it took place. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it when we get back.
No problem.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna grab me a drink. You want one?
No, I'm good. I don't drink actually, but enjoy.
Okay. All good. Okay, everybody. Once again, shit's getting good. I have so much I want to ask. If I go longer, please bear with me. You should be home anyways. You're in curfew. I shouldn't be going anywhere. Okay, so make sure you call somebody, text somebody. We'll break a bottle or somebody's fucking head and let them know the Pablito's in the motherfucking building. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go nowhere. Curfew, homie. Welcome to Roadium Radio, and I am your host, Tony A. the Wizard. We started a GoFundMe page because we need you to help us meet our goal. And our goal is to release a Chicano rap documentary. And we need you to be a part of this. Everyone who contributes will have certain incentives offered to them. For an example, I'll name one. Your name will be on the credits of the film. Everyone who gives, everyone who contributes, their name will be on the credits. That's just one thing that we have to offer. But yet, if you read the description, you see other incentives for your contribution. If you've seen the Roadium Mixtape documentary, you will not be disappointed with this documentary, shining light on Chicano rap, the Chicano culture. It is something that can be used as an educational tool now and in the future. So once again, help us meet our goals so that we can start production. And remember this, we have a voice and we will be heard.
Theo on Roadium Radio. The panties are popping, and it's non-stopping. Tony A. the Wizard.
Roadium Radio.
Yo, call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch.
tear shit up. Hey, yo, D, you got a level? D, hit record, man.
Get busy with Easy and Tony A on the 12 technique. See?
Here's a little something about a nigga like me. They never should have anybody say from me. Yo, this is your main man man. You don't like Tony A or I'm rocking shit at the Roadium. Just do 1 2 1 2. Right about now, you drop that baby. Ice Cube getting dumb at the Roadium with the funky drum, and you know my man Steve can get some. With a fool like Tony A when he plays stupid dope shit by WA. You wanna spray? Dumb motherfuckers, no doubt. And sucker DJ, get the fuck out. Tony A.
What did you say your name was? What did you say?
Tony A.
I have won 1 million battles.
Lights, cameras, action, sound. Give me that mic, I'm about to go down.
Thinking of a master plan.
This story's funny. I met this girl and she had money. Just do 1 2 1 2. Right about now, Easy E and Dr. Dre's in the motherfucking house.
Times are getting crazy, it's really hard to choose it. The Roadium's a spot to get funky, fresh music. Easy motherfucking E and my homeboy Dr. Dre. MC Ren is in effect, and you know we don't play. The Roadium is hitting, but you know you can't leave until you get a deaf ass tape from Steve. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Oh Steve, oh Steve, oh Steve, just give me just one more tape. Yeah, man, I came all the way down to the Roadium spot beat, man, to pick up one of them NWA tapes, man. And I talked to homeboy Steve down there, man, and he said I'm fresh out of tapes, man. How the fuck you fresh out of tapes, man? He said cause they selling like hotcakes and shit, man.
Got my man going down. Hey, mom, what's for dinner?
We're back, everybody, with Pablito, episode 63, and I'm gonna stop bullshitting and just jump right back into it. Pablito, how you doing?
Good, man. Good.
You know, I like that I can make you laugh.
Yeah, no, you're a funny guy, man. I like that.
You know, so you're in the car with Irving Azoff, and he tells you that if anybody can get you a deal, it's gonna be me. Did that deal ever go through?
No. I mean, look, that would have been the deal of the lifetime. I mean, there was nobody bigger in the entire music business than Irving Azoff. Look him up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He was the biggest guy in the business, and probably still is right as we speak. You know, I mean, there's other guys, but he's the top 5 or top 3.
Right.
To this day.
So, inquiring minds want to know. You have so much talent. You know, you had the legal advice of Jerry Heller, top producers, gold and platinum, you know, Chicano artist. Can you share with us why it didn't go through?
I mean, it's like, you know, it just goes back to why this whole genre is not even where it should be.
Okay.
You know, it's like, if everybody stuck together and wouldn't hate on each other, we just got hated on everywhere. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, people, you know, we came out the gate just, you know, we had Jerry and, you know, it gave us a big spread in LA Times and whatnot. So we came out pretty strong, and with the production and the facility and the whole nine. And we just people just hating, you know, everywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and it's just you know, it was sad. You know what I mean? It's like at that point, you know, what could I do? I'm already all in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I just think if everybody really stuck together and really was about what they talk about, oh yeah, and this, we're down with the movement, all this other, this and that, you know what I mean? You know, don't talk about it, be about it, you know what I mean? You know, people are not dumb. They can see that you're really about that and doing that, you know what I mean? But everybody just hates on each other, you know what I mean? Even to this day.
Yes.
You know, Frost came out in what, 1990?
1990.
And we're in 2020? That's what, 30 years?
Yes.
And where is this genre, you know, what is it, you know, formed into, you know what I mean? And I'm not hating. I want it to be big. I want it to be mainstream. I want to see all these Chicano rappers in the, you know, the top 40, if not the top 10, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's just, I mean, it was just very discouraging, you know what I mean? And I don't see much of anything changed to this day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of, I mean, I interrupt you, but a lot of the production is like still in the 90s, and, you know, everybody's West Coast out. And don't get me wrong, I'm West Coast out myself. But if you're going to give me a West Coast record to go try to take to a Warner Brothers or someone I have a deal with, they're going to look at me and say, Pablito, this, you know, we're in 2020 and, you know, this is like 30 years old, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to walk in there and have them, you know, say that to me. I want to walk in there and say, yeah, let's sign this cat, you know, sign this kid, let's sign this girl.
Right. Was it, fuck, I mean, to say the least, was it very discouraging, other than yourself, to everybody else who was on board, that it just wasn't going to happen?
I mean, yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I can't speak for everyone else, you know, I'm sure, but it's like, it's just, we just had to finally realize that, look, we're just beating a dead horse here. You know what I mean? And if we don't pull the plug here, it was our choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, as smart businessmen, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because had we not, you know, I'd probably be living in the street right now. You know what I mean?
From the time that you opened up that studio and you guys pretty much just went live, okay, and said, we're going forward, and from the time that you pulled the plug, how long was that time?
Probably like 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't long, you know what I mean? And, you know, and we gave it our best shot, you know what I mean? I mean, Jerry was making those calls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, bringing in a lot of heavy cats, a lot of big people. But, you know, at the end of the day, these music executives and these labels, and they're all numbers people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if your numbers are not there, you know, then there's not really much to talk about with them. We could talk that we're the shit and we're the dopest and my hood, all this other stuff, but to them, I mean, I'm with it. You know, but to them, it's you know, they see numbers, you know, they see it in black and white, you know, and they'll start a conversation with you. But until then, they don't even know that it exists.
Right.
And you know, I'm sure they'd want to, like, you know, they would, you know what I mean? Trust me, they'd be the first one to jump in it, you know, if the numbers were there.
Right. There's one thing that I need to point out, and I think it's important for people to know that love this genre and that want to see, if you will, our culture, our Chicanos brethren, you know, and brothers and sisters to climb that ladder on why it never has. And you said something that I believe was very key. You said the hate. If we can narrow it down, would you say that some of it was hate between some of the artists within the label?
Oh, I mean, look, that's a whole other episode, and I really don't want to kind of get into that, but yeah, 100%.
Okay.
The minute we signed, you know, we brought Frost in, you know what I mean? It's like people were like, you know, everybody wanted to be the artist of our label, you know what I mean?
Right.
Which is fine, you know what I mean? But we didn't look at it like that, you know what I mean? To us, you know, we didn't think, you know, we didn't, you know, do that on purpose or nothing. We're just trying to you know, make complete our puzzle and make our situation as big and as bold as possible at that time, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, so it was nothing personal on nobody. They were just all business moves, you know what I mean? But again, a lot of these artists, you know, and they really should, you know, learn the business.
Yeah.
You know, you really got to learn the business. You know, how can you be in a business that you're in that you know nothing about? You know what I mean, so you know that's really important. You know.
You know, me and my team are putting together a documentary, and we talked about it before. We want to shine light on our people and on our culture, and on the music. You know, I don't think we're ever going to become millionaires from a documentary, but I do want to shine light. I believe on a genre that I believe people either don't even look at, don't even care about, or don't even flinch. But there is a market out there. Is it huge? I believe that there is a market out there. Now, can it be better? Absolutely. We talked about producers. We talked about rappers that many times, many Chicanos just produce rap over beat and just flood the market. And let's be honest, with a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of garbage, just to have something out at the swamp meets or at the car shows.
You know, and it's and guys like you know, I know too. I see right through it. You know what I mean? My little sister could make music like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I try to, I wonder why they do that. You know what I mean? I guess it's because it's just, hey, I want to be, this guy from here, whatever. You know what I mean? But I think if they really took the time out to meticulously, hone their skills and really, get into real production. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not dissing nobody or nothing. I mean, I'm just trying to let people know what the other side of the table is looking for. So if you want to get in the door with them, this is what it's going to require. You know what I mean? And it comes down to like, your age. It's the first, you go to, I take a project to a label or something, or it's a female or male, or whatever. The first thing they ask is, how old is he? You know what I mean? And you got to be marketable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're looking for that Ken or Barbie type scenario. You know what I mean?
Right.
Unfortunately, you know what I mean?
Within this documentary, what we did before we told people that we were going to make one, we asked them questions that were going to apply to the documentary, that we were going to re-ask, if you will. And many of them that I interviewed here, I usually ask them off camera. And I asked them this: why do you think Chicano rap has never went to that next level? Okay, I asked these individuals this, and I can name them, but I'm not. And they all said this. If I asked 40 of them, I would say at least 35 said this: because we hate on each other.
Well, make me 36. You know what I mean? Because that's the God honest truth. You know what I mean? It's like we could look, Tony. It's like me and you could talk and say, "Hey, Tony, I'm down with you, this and that and other," and oh, Pablito and that and other. But the minute we turn our backs on each other, oh man, Tony thinks it's this, or oh, Pablito just talks too much. You know what I mean? It happens all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like it's a shame. You know what I mean? Because there's the demographics are so strong. You know what I mean? Are so big.
Yes.
And to me, there's kind of no excuse. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Chicano talent out there, a lot. You know what I mean? And it starts with each other, and you know what I mean. If you don't support me and I don't support you, then where's it gonna go? If I don't buy your product, you don't buy mine. Who's gonna buy it? We gotta show somebody that it's being bought.
Right. Sometimes I will put, when I post my flyers on my Instagram or my Facebook or even on my YouTube story, okay? Sad to say, and I'm not going to mention no names, but I will say this, that people right away, wow, Tony, you got this lame motherfucker. Wow, Tony, you got that half Salvadorian son of a bitch. Wow, Tony, I can't believe you got, that motherfucker can't rap. That son of a bitch is a tweaker. And you know what I do? I'll be honest with you. I'll leave those comments up there so that we can see how we shoot each other in the foot, bro. We don't allow each other.
Look at other races and how they comment on each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that would, probably add a little more, shed a little more light to what we're talking about.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. And then if they don't comment, they'll DM me. Hey man, why are you gonna have that fucking lame? He only has one song out. And I'm like, why can't you just be happy for him? Why is it so hard to be happy for him? Usually when I tell Chicano rappers when they come here, and I said, if I can help you do anything in your career, I would like to help you surpass anything that I possibly may have accomplished, for you to go further and for you to open the door for the next guy. That's the only way. But we need more people to think like this and not, to involve the fucking gang element and say, where's that motherfucker from? Well, that lame is from over here. And that, man, and it's just never ending.
Well, the gang element is, the industry don't want any part of that. You know what I mean? Ever since Death Row, you know what I mean? All the executives and labels, they don't want no part of that. Any gang element at all. So, that's just the way that is. You know what I mean? Nobody could change that, only them.
Right.
And they own this industry.
Yes.
So what am I going to go do and try to convince them that, no, they're going to shut me down.
Right.
I know better to even go and tell them, hey, you know what? I got this little homie and this and that. Now, as much as I want to, as much as I want to say, look, this little homie's tight, spits flames.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. There's been some rappers that have come here. If you ask me, and I'm still thinking 80s and I'm still thinking 90s. Before I take you to a record label, I think you need at least you're about 2 years away from your development.
It's called
skill.
artist development. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
It's just standard in this business. If you're not turnkey ready to go right this second, don't take it personal. Because if we're even talking or if we're even showing interest in you, then it's just it's all about little artist development. It doesn't hurt. It helps. You're honing your skills. You got guidance from real experienced people that have been in the business. Type of scenario.
Now today, when I've told people that, many of them, not all of them, took that wrong.
No,
I told this one person, I said, you're a little too green. Your skills are there, but I would say
he want to get up and fight with you or something, probably. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean that's I'm gonna go back to that. You know what I mean? If it was like, let's say for example, in any other race, they'd be like, okay, Tone, they with Jerry, amongst themselves, they're more like, they'll try to help you achieve that, and vice versa. That's why their race is ahead of everybody.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They'll show you the way, they'll help you, they'll guide you. And one thing he even told me too is like, let's say for example, like we didn't like each other, Tone.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this business venture that, that we could get involved in where you and I can make money. But our race and the Chicano culture and everything would be like, man, I'm gonna fucking work with Tone. Fuck you, man. Fuck Pablito. You know what I mean? I'm gonna work with them. Their culture, they'll work with each other. Jerry's like, hey man, I'll work with him from 9 to 5. After 5 o'clock, I don't gotta hang out with him.
Yeah.
And they're getting money all day long. You know what I mean? So that's the difference right there. If we thought like that, you know what I mean? We'd be ahead, but we're cussing each other out, trying to kill each other, you know what I mean? And hating on each other, you know what I mean? And where are we going to end up? Where are we going? Where are we going to be?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Dead or in jail.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just it's I've learned a lot from them and how they function, how they think, and you know what I mean? And they don't really let too many people other than their own in their circle. You know what I mean? You really got to show them that, you're a stand-up real person for that. You know what I mean?
Right. And so I would share what little knowledge I have, and I would tell them, man, you're probably about 1 year to 2 years away from really arriving. Well,
they ain't trying to hear that.
No, my album's coming out next week.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then after that, maybe their album lasted about a month. I'm already working on my EP. And I'm like...
But even a lot of these Chicano rappers, they have like 100,000 followers. You can't even get them on the phone. You know what I mean?
Can you say that again?
I mean, and I'm not, it's like, why? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if I'm somebody that could potentially help you take you to the next level.
Thank you.
I'm not hating on you. I'm trying to help you. You know what I mean? I see something in you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You'll be surprised how many people that, and I say this in the most humblest way that I can say it. Some of the people that I've contacted for interviews, I know, Pablito, that I have had more history than these guys. I know I do. And I know that they know that. But they, for some reason, act like they're royalty. You know, and...
It's sad, without mentioning any names, the majority of them do, you know what I mean? And I don't know why, you know what I mean? It's like, why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you headlining the Staples Center?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just sad, you know what I mean? And that's why, since La Raza to 2020, there hasn't been much noise in that mark, in this genre.
And that's 30
regardless
years.
of what, 30 years, man. And a lot of these rappers that back in those days and those times are still making records and still making music.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when are you gonna realize that, you know what I mean? You're 40 years old.
50?
50? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's pretty sad because, fuck, what I'm about to say might sound weird, but I wish in my lifetime I can see this genre, if you will, climb the next level. But will we see it?
I mean, is there talent out there that potentially could break those barriers? I believe there is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been looking for them, and I believe that could happen, but it's gonna be too hard when people are just talking shit about each other and stabbing each other in the back, and I'm gonna smile in your face and offer you my hand, but the minute we turn around, it's like it's
right.
It's just, that's the main thing, right? It's been 30 years, Tone.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, 30 years.
30 years. A generation has passed. And we're still pretty much in the same place. Selling the music at indoor swap meets, outdoor swap meets, and car shows.
I mean, the only person that in those times that was really doing it, in my eyes, and it was like a Texas thing, was SPM. He got that big Universal deal, and he was on his way. That's shout out to Bash. Bash was smart. You know what I mean? Bash was like for the ladies, and no one's gonna get hurt behind Bash's music. You know what I mean?
Right.
He had a real good run. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bash was smart. He went out to Texas and made it happen. You know what I mean? He could have stuck out here and and continued to
Right.
But he went out there and did his thing, man. And still doing his thing.
One thing that I encourage producers today, because a lot of people would say, and you knew Easy personally, a lot of people would say Eazy-E was not a rapper. Hey, Dre brought the best out of him, okay, and made records that will last a lifetime, okay. I said that to say this: even though people may say he was never a rapper, Dre got him to sound like it. He always rapped, okay. Today, I believe what's lacking in the Chicano community, and I've been in the studios, so I can talk, where good rappers, the producer maybe might get him to do a 16 bars twice, and I know he could have gotten better. Okay, we're good, and that's it. And I told the guy, hey man, you know what? I know this is your session, but can you have him run it again? I think he could get a little bit. No, he was cool. He was on beat. I like his shit. I don't give a fuck. And that was it.
That's why the majority of music sounds the way it does.
Yes. A lot of the blame has to be put on producers as well. And then if you're just getting beats emailed to you, there's no chemistry between you and the producer.
Well, if you're just a half-ass kind of person anyway, you know what I mean? It's that's just the way it's gonna come out. You know what I mean? You got to get really meticulous with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to get into it. You know what I mean? And you can't just I'm not gonna mention the names, but this rapper I know, was shot me this beat, and I'm looking out for him. I want him to come up in this genre and this, that, and other. And
Right.
I feel he's got a good shot and whatnot. But he shot me this beat, like, yeah, little homie made this beat, and check it out, it's dope. So I heard it and everything, and it's like, wow, man, what did he make this on? You know what I mean? Like a Fisher Price.
Yeah, what did he mix it in? Gas station bathroom?
I mean, and I'm not dissing the little dude, but it's like I told him, just look, just be patient, you know what I mean? And just don't pick any beat that anybody shoots at you, you know what I mean? Just try to find something that fits and suits you, and and just make sure it's dope. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, look, Tone, as much as I love the West Coast and the West, this, that, and other, you know, it's like you got to move with the times. You know what I mean?
Of course.
You know, as much as I want the West to be the West as it was in the '90s today, it's just not. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and you know, so, you know, there's other, you know, Chicano rappers that I see in here that are moving with the times production-wise, and that's good. You know what I mean? Because it's still good music at the end of the day, and the times are the times.
Right.
You know, whether you like the top rappers that are out today, whether you like the Migos or whomever, it's just not our thing. You know what I mean? It's for the youth. It's you know, that's what they thought about when we were listening to the Ghetto Boys or when we were listening to, you know, our music back then. They thought about you know, they had the same comments about that music today than they did back then. You know what I mean? So it's just different day and age. It's just different era. You know.
Yeah, and I hope people really take heed to your words, because once again, you were with the team that was supposed to turn this whole genre, this whole culture into something big, and it didn't happen. And I don't believe it had anything to do with you, the producer, or even Jerry. It had to do with them.
You're absolutely right. You know what I mean? Without getting into it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like I said, you know what I mean? Had I known then, you know, what I should have known initially, you know, maybe, you know, I probably wouldn't have done as big or something, you know what I mean? But, you know, but like I said, you know, we're in 2020, you know, halfway through this year, you know, and, you know, where's the songs, Tone? You know, you know.
I know. We mentioned. Let me just throw some songs out there. Like, for an example, that's obviously La Raza. What was the song called? La Familia with Rich G. Okay. Ain't No Sunshine. At least songs that we can
East
mention.
Side Rendezvous,
East
you
Side
know what I mean?
Rendezvous.
So it's like, you know, those are songs that you could listen to for the, you know, 20 years from now, I'll still be listening to those songs. Where are those songs today?
Great question.
You know what I mean? Who has those songs where you can say, oh man, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know?
You know?
And it's been 30 years.
Yes.
30 years is a long time, you know what I mean?
And I'm 52.
You know?
So, yes, I know. 30 years is a fucking long-ass time. And it's funny because I've had other rappers here that tell me they're huge in Chicano rap, okay? And I'll drop names. And I'll say, okay, I'm going to drop his name. And I want you to give me the song that they will be remembered for. And I will drop the name. They'll be like, next one. I'll drop another name.
But you're not hating, Tone. You know,
Right.
you know, you want to be able to say, oh, it's this song, this song, this song, this song. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of these artists in their mind, you know, like I said, you know, they're there already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's good to have self-esteem and be proud and, you know, all that, all the above.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's, you know, everybody's got to stick together in order to to make happen what you know.
In this day and age, do you still have Chicano rappers trying to get a hold of you and possibly say, hey, man, can you help me?
Not at all. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm behind what I feel, well, actually, I know is the hottest shit in the street right now.
Okay. Please share with us your partnership with your company or what you're doing today.
You know, we have, I'm part of this company, you know, called Foundation Media. And I've been blessed to be a part of this situation. You know, it was a guy by the name of Patrick Hughes, you know, Harvey Russell. Before Jerry died, you know, we were kind of, you know, shooting back and forth on certain kind of deals and whatnot. And, you know, these guys like founded the Housewives of Beverly Hills, and they packaged movies like Wolves of Wall Street and Life of Pi and so on and so forth. I could go on and on and on what they've done. But, you know, unfortunately Jerry passed, and, you know, after he passed, I was able to link up with these guys.
Yeah.
And I've been with them for several years, and, you know, just not very long. You know, we're a new company, and I head the Latin department, you know what I mean? And, you know, we're just doing a lot of really cool stuff right now, and, you know, I couldn't be more blessed.
Yeah. I know that you guys have certain artists there.
Yeah, we have a rap department. You know, we have we have clients like we represent Trippie Redd and Lil Nas X and G-Eazy and Lil Wayne and several others through a new joint venture with this company called Blueprint. We're all one big entity now, and we're pretty heavy in the TV, movie, and music space.
Okay, and you also have something big or new coming out with the Menudo group.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, man, I presented that to the partners I'm just talking about, like in 2016.
Wow.
You know, I met this guy and he's out of Florida. They kind of stumbled across the name, and that was it's a long story. But anyway, to make a long story short, we've been trying to sell this TV show. You know what I mean? And finally, we hooked up with Audrey Morrissey. She has The Voice and Songland.
Okay.
And Mario Lopez is going to host it. Myself and my partners are going to executive produce it, be a few of the executive producers on the show, and hopefully it'll be coming out on NBC.
Okay. And this is a, if you will, for people that may not know, a Menudo group that came out in the 80s, correct?
Yeah.
And this is, can you fill us in a little bit more detail?
Well, it's going to be the new version of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We're gonna do casting for like 5-6 youngsters that are just top tier talent, turnkey talent, and we're gonna put this. It's gonna be a competition show, and then it's gonna overlap into another TV show where they're gonna all move in the house, and it's gonna be a big deal. Mario Lopez is very excited about it. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
It's like, once he got wind of this, it's like something he really wanted to get behind,
Yes.
and we're really happy that he's participating in this.
Awesome. Now, man, I hate to even say this, but since this is the interview, I have to ask, because I don't want to sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but for the people to get all the information out of you on where you feel, and pretty much how I feel as well, I have to agree with you. Do you see any hope for this Chicano rap genre?
I mean, of course. I mean, because there's always younger, fresh blood out there and younger, fresh talent. You know what I mean? Like, those two little chicks you had here the other night.
Yes.
It's cool to see that. I think it's really cool to see that they're doing that they're even putting the effort out to try to, jump into this business and, make a dent and create a wave. So I believe there's hope, you know what I mean? But come on, Tony, it's been 30 years though. You know what I mean? It's like, when,
Well, you know what, but that's a good question. When? I definitely don't have the answer. I wish things would turn around and for the positive, but hate is such a powerful word, but it's true, man. It's true.
It's like we're just hurting ourselves. We're not hurting nobody else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, and why would we want to hurt ourselves? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I think I'm cooler than him, or, or I think his production is whack, or, I don't get along with his hood, or, it's like, come on, man, let's just all stick together. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
And show them.
Yes.
That we're a force to be reckoned with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's enough of us here. There's enough talent. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's dope ass producers. I've heard rappers that spit flames. There's chicks that can sing their asses off. You know what I mean? But it's like, the big labels and those type of entities just don't even know don't acknowledge it. You know what I mean?
Don't acknowledge it.
But they don't acknowledge it because they're hating on it. They're like you and I. You know what I mean? Well, when it happens, we're gonna be the first ones to jump in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it were to happen, if something were to go down tomorrow, of course I'd want to see if I could sign that person, or
You know what's funny? Without mentioning any names, in the late '90s, from '96 was when I started working with a lot of Chicano rappers, from Slow Pain to Frost to Little Rob, AOT, Nino Brown, all of those guys, Mello, and there was a guy that I thought was very, very talented, and I won't mention his name, but everybody kept telling me, you need to get the guy in the studio before he does his time in the pen. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? And that was the problem with a lot of our people, if you will, that, hey, homie, I'm going to be out, for like, a couple of months, and I got to go back in, and I'm like, how do you expect to hold a career like, or I can rap from jail, just play the beat and I'll listen to it. No, we're not going to, and that's part of the problem, trying to mix this gangbanging culture with our rap, or our music. It just, like you said, the record labels ain't going to fuck with that gangbanging shit.
They're not, you know what I mean? I don't have a problem with it, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, it's almost like a Mexican version of NWA, you know what I mean? We all the Chicanos and all the gangbangers, everybody's got a voice, they've got something to say, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they're entitled to be able to say whatever they want, you know what I mean? But it's just, the labels are, they're, if you don't got skinny jeans right now on and, got crazy looking hair or
tattoos all over your face
or whatever, you know what I mean? They're just not trying to hear that, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, look, they've just picked up and moved. They move with the times, just put it like that. You know what I mean? They're about today and what's happening right now, this second.
Right.
They ain't trying to, talk about or hear anything else.
Okay. For me, I'm going to ask this question for me. What's one thing that you can say that being in such a, not only a business relationship, but having a friendship with Jerry that you can say, I learned from, or he taught me, or...
Jerry was a stand-up guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got a couple stories that will set the record about who he was, you know what I mean? And like, legally and like, a lot of people don't know that, Jerry was sued by Tamika, when Easy died, you know what I mean? And I really know the outcome of that. It's not something anybody would expect, you know what I mean?
Right.
But Jerry, we were close, man. Jerry would call me fucking every day at 7:30 in the morning, you know what I mean? It's like, we hung out all the fucking time. We were always out having dinner all over the fucking place, you know what I mean? And it's just about getting to know each other, kind of culture, you know what I mean?
Right.
Growing up in the hood, anybody that was white was usually the cops or, parole or probation or, so it's, being around him and his culture, I just learned a lot, you know what I mean? Just down to everything, like, we'd go to like this deli in Beverly Hills called Nate Nell's that Jerry would love to go to, and he would go have breakfast there every morning with like Doris Day, And anyway, well, when we first started hanging out and going out and whatnot, we would just trip on kind of, not so much what we would eat. Like, he'd order, matzo ball soup and, we eat Menudo, you know what I mean? But like for breakfast, he would trip because I would go to those delis and I would order hot dogs and eggs.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because I grew up on that, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't order toast, I would order tortillas. And Jerry would trip on that, you know what I mean? Because we're in this Jewish deli on the west side, and I'm ordering like if my grandma's making me this breakfast, you know what I mean? And I would kind of, same thing for him. And he had poached eggs and just a bunch of shit I would never eat, you know what I mean? But, we just learn off each other, you know what I mean? And Jerry was he was a stand-up dude, you know what I mean? Just like a straight guy, you know what I mean? Having conversations with Jerry, one thing I really appreciated was there was just no bullshit about him. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, if you had a conversation, it was a straight up conversation. I mean, Jerry was a businessman at the end of the day. You know what I mean? He was a numbers guy. You know what I mean? And how they did business amongst each other, and let's say I beat you in a business deal or you beat me, how they interact and how they resolve that and how they see that is just business. You and I would want to kill each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man, Tony got me or I got him, and not with them, man. It's just business at the end of the day, nothing personal. And I think if, the movement that we're talking about kind of you know,
Yeah.
saw that and realized that, you know what I mean? Just all that little helps, you know what I mean? All that knowledge helps. And, you know, you got to know the business at the end of the day, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. Any memorable toker story that you
Oh, wow. Okay. I got 1,000 of them, you know what I mean? But I'll never forget one time we were at his mom's house in Huntington Park. And it was like Monday Night Football or something, you know. And we were, we were all in the living room. His whole family was in the living room. There's about fucking 15 of us, you know what I mean? His whole family was in the living room. And it was me and him, and we're all on the couches and everything, and we're all sitting down and we're watching Monday Night Football, you know what I mean? And it was the Cleveland Browns against, I don't know who it was, you know. But Toker was the only one that knew that I had just took a tab of acid.
Oh, shit.
Like about an hour prior to sitting down watching this game, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm sitting on the couch, and he's sitting next to me, and his mom and his dad. Everybody's there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm starting to peak. You know what I mean? And, you know, this is a long time ago, you know. So I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm starting to peak. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, man, you know, any little thing's gonna just set me off, and I'm gonna just start busting up. I'm like praying that, like, you know, like nothing happened, you know what I mean? Let me just be cool, you know. I don't want no one to know I'm frying my ass off right now, you know what I mean? So boom, it hit me, you know what I mean? So I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, so I look at the TV, and it went into a commercial, and all of a sudden they just showed a quick glimpse of a fan, a Cleveland Browns fan, with a bear like face mask on with a helmet, and he went like this real quick, and oh my God, I seen that. And for those that ever been on acid, you know what happened after that. You know, I couldn't stop laughing. I laughed and laughed and laughed. I laughed and laughed and laughed. It was crazy, right? I'm tearing. So Toker's parents, like, you know, they look at me and they're like, you know, ¿qué trae? You know, what the fuck's up with Pablito? And Toker just looks at, está bien ácido. And all of a sudden, when they said that, they all started laughing. You know, because he told them that I was frying, you know what I mean?
Right.
So here we are, there's like 20 of us laughing at the top of our lungs for like an hour. And, you know, it was just hilarious. I'll never forget that. You know what I mean? Oh, man, it was so funny. You know, he was crazy. He was a good guy, man. You know, I got stories for days about that guy, you know what I mean? You know, as a matter of fact, you know, I have the rights to his life story.
Really?
Oh yeah, you know what I mean. A lot of people don't know this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of stuff happened with Brownside like after the first record, and you know, he went to jail and whatnot when it came out, and you know, so you know, he kind of did his own thing, and you know, after he came out and all those records that came out after that, you know, he was doing his own thing and whatnot. You know, but yeah, when he first came out of jail, the very, 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 very first time. You know, we were in Rosarito Beach, and I told him, I said, hey man, you know, you got, you know, I knew his whole story. I said, man, you got a hell of a fucking story. I told him, I said, you know, we need to bring this out. You know what I mean? So, you know, Jerry drew up a contract, and you know, I got a, you know, we made a deal. You know what I mean? To do his, you know, life story with the music and everything. You know what I mean? So. So I guess time went by and whatnot. So I started like, you know, trying to shop his situation and this and that, whatnot, you know. So through this lawyer I knew in Miami, he connected me with this. I don't know if you know this movie that came out. Sylvester Stallone was like I believe it was like his first movie or something. It's called Lords of Flatbush.
Of course, yes.
Well, the guy that wrote that, I sat down with him, and I sat down with the guy by the name of Joe Zwick that did all the major production for all the TV shows like in the 80s, from Laverne and Shirley to Mork and Mindy, did all of them, you know what I mean?
Right.
So here I am at this deli with him and the guy that wrote The Lords of Flatbush, and that was a big deal to me because I saw that movie as a kid. You know, that's a classic movie. You know what I mean? So I'm there tripping out, and I'm talking to these two dudes about the Brown side. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I'm gonna tell you the truth. You know, to make a long story short, you know, I was getting $3 million for it. You know what I mean? And
you said 3 or 30?
3.
Okay.
And you know, Toker, you know, turned it down.
Really?
That's a whole other interview, but
Okay.
but you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I went out there and made it happen. You know what I mean? And look who I had sitting at the table with me. You know what I mean?
I know.
The guy that wrote Lords of Flatbush was going to write this story. You know what I mean?
And
They were blown away by this story. You know what I mean?
And you know what? Lords of Flatbush also had Henry Winkler, the Fonz.
Yeah.
He was in it.
Oh yeah. Probably a couple other ones that I'm not even mentioning.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
So
That's awesome. Wow. Well, you know what? Hopefully, I know we were talking during the break when we're done with this Chicano rap documentary that we're gonna do. We're gonna do, actually, we've already considered it. We're gonna do episode 1, episode 2. But it's just too much of a story to cover in one, you know. And of course, I want to interview you, you know. And I hope you bless us with that opportunity.
Man, whatever you need from me, Tom, consider it done, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And because once again, I want to shine light on our people, and I just wish that a lot of this negativity towards ourselves would stop.
I mean, this might be perfect timing for this. You know what I mean? There's a lot of companies that I know out there right now that are really looking for content. You know what I mean? Like right now, the Latin numbers are you know, some of the biggest numbers all across the board right now.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, you know, there's a movement out there in the street right now that's big, and the numbers are just phenomenal. You know what I mean? And it's called corridos tumbados. Those numbers are in the millions and millions and millions. You know what I mean? It's not even funny. You know what I mean? What that whole movement's doing, and it's you know, it's going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just it's big. You know.
Awesome.
So that's what I'm been listening to all day long. You know, it's the only thing I listen to right now.
Awesome. You know, it's funny. I should have met you in the 90s when Jerry would tell me about you, but I'm
Yeah, for sure.
And you say timing is everything. The timing possibly could be right. I meet you now. I'm just very thankful and very blessed to have you here.
No, likewise, Tone. You know, I came with my boy Magoo, and he said he was doing the show with you, and I said, man, you know, Tony's a, you know, he's a vet, and you know, just go give him all you got. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. Thank you. I truly appreciate that. And by the way, I'm wearing Magoo's Active.
That's right. Active airbrushing. That's right. Shout out to my boy Magoo.
Yeah, Latin Active. So,
that's right.
So other than that, is there anything that I should have asked you, brother? Anything that I should have brought up? It doesn't matter. Anything. It doesn't matter. We've gone over time. It doesn't matter. People are still on. Anything you want to talk about, we could talk about.
I mean, it's entirely up to you. And I mean, it's you know.
You know. Okay. This man knew Eazy-E. This man knew Toker. This man knew Jerry Heller. This man still knows Tony G, Julio G. Pretty much everybody in the industry. This man is making moves. And this man actually even knew Johnny J.
Jerry and I were going to form a label with Johnny J.
Yeah.
You know, you see, when we closed down Hit a Lick, I was like, you know what? You know, I was determined to hop back in it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, nah, I can't let this, you know, kick my ass like this. I got to shake myself off and get back in it. So I let a year go by, and I met with Jerry at Monty's.
He took me there.
Yeah, I met with Jerry at Monty's, and I told him I want to start another label. I want to call it Street Life. I want him to be 50-50 partners. And he reached over and shook my hand, and we were off to the races. You know,
Yeah.
So we had Street Life, you know, for quite some time, and till his passing. You know.
Right. And Johnny J was a part of that?
Well, Johnny J, we met Johnny, and we're gonna form a label with him. You know, he had Clockwork Entertainment at the time.
Right.
So we were gonna do a Street Life Clockwork venture, and MTV had this show called Sweet 16, MTV Sweet 16 at the time.
Yes.
And Easy's daughter, EB was on the show, and she was hot at the time, so we were going to do a record with her. You know what I mean? We were going to get her in there with Johnny and do a record with her, and that was going to be like one of our first projects, But like that would be a whole other interview. What happened with that,
Right.
But anyway, so we were, that ended up not working out, and for certain reasons, and then. Johnny passed not too long after that.
Yeah. Oh, man. See, this was a hard one. I'll tell you why. Because a month before Johnny turned himself in to do his time, he contacted me. And it was kind of funny because I met him when Audio Treatments here in the city of Torrance, where he was doing Candyman. He was on some independent Browns label, and the side B was Knocking Boots. And I remember I told him, that's your song. Even the engineer, Donovan Smith, the engineer of the Audio Achievement Studio, said, that's your hit song. Well, they eventually got signed to Capitol. That became the hit song, Knocking Boots.
Oh, yeah.
So I hadn't talked to him since then. And somehow we had bumped into each other. We exchanged numbers. I didn't ever expect him to call me, but he calls me up. And he tells me, Tone, how you doing, man? And I'm like, oh, shit, what the fuck? What's up, man? He goes, remember me? I go, yeah, I fucking remember you, dude. How the fuck you been? So we were chopping it up, and then he just tells me, I'm going to go to jail for a little bit. Then when I come back, he says, I got about 80 Tupac songs. He said, I'm in cahoots.
Oh, my God.
He said, with Tupac's mom, he says, by the way, I never got paid for all the shit that I did for Tupac. And by the way, at least in my opinion, on that All Eyes on Me album, that all the hits that were on that album were produced by Johnny J.
Yeah,
okay? By a Mexican guy.
Yeah.
Okay. All the hits. Okay. So I have to give credit where credit is due. So I said, so what do you want from me? He goes, well, I'm gonna need production because I have a bunch of songs. Are you willing to work? And I said, yeah. I said, so when are you gonna get out? He goes, I'm gonna be out in a couple of months. And I said, all right, cool, man. I said, well, you got my number, hit me up. I was excited. I turned on my SP1200, my drum machine, old school, and I'm ready to go. And it's funny, man. I go to breakfast a couple of months later, and I'm with, I believe, my homie. And I just started looking through it, and then I saw a small little part in the newspaper that he had committed suicide. Man, it fucked me up for a long time, dude.
You know what, Tony? It's like, when I first started going over there with Jerry, he had this shrine of Pac. He had a shrine of Pac and Easy. It was very serious. It was dope. But I went over there and it's like he started busting out these Pac songs. My gosh.
Yeah.
This one I'll never forget. It was a song he did with Big Daddy Kane for Death Row East. I mean, that song would bring back the West tomorrow.
Wow.
Literally, and I begged him for it. I'm like, man, let me. It's like, nah. I mean, he had Pac songs for days.
Yeah.
Days.
Yeah. Now I wonder if we'll ever hear any of that stuff because Pac's mom's passed. Johnny J, rest in peace. So now I know he didn't need my production. Maybe I was one of many that he called. I get it, but I was just happy to be on board. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, if I had to guess, you're the one he called. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Johnny knew his shit. You know what I mean? Johnny was dope. His production was sick. You know what I mean? And and like you said, he made some of Pac's biggest hits. You know what I mean?
I want to share something that you probably have never heard. Okay, and I'm working out at 24-Hour Fitness in the city of Carson, and I'm working out next to this Moreno. Okay, me and my son are hitting incline, and they're playing I see the same hoes. And I told my son, Johnny J, I was a Mexican guy to produce that shit. That's what I said. And my son goes, really? So I'm schooling him on Johnny J. I'm telling him the story. This Moreno comes up to me, goes, ¿Tú conociste Johnny J? And I was surprised that he talked to me in Spanish. And he said that he was half, he was from Belize. But he spoke fluent Spanish. He goes, yeah, I work at the county jail. He said, whenever you get a chance, I want to chop it up with you. And I said, oh, okay, cool. We went downstairs, because it's upstairs and downstairs at this gym. And make a long story short, I would never give his name because he told me, please don't ever do that, because he still works there. Deputy at the county jail here. And he's the one that made Johnny J a trustee. And Johnny J committed suicide in front of him.
Well, the story goes that I guess he jumped off a tier.
Sixth story.
Ooh.
Yeah. And he showed me how he did it and everything, bro. Let me tell you something. It really fucked me up.
I don't know why, man. You know, I never saw any type of sign in Johnny that would, you know, even raise an eyebrow suspicion that he would even do anything like that.
And he said the same thing.
Really, you know what I mean? You know, him and his wife, were, you know, they were just inseparable. You know, he had, you know, a couple good, cool, really nice kids. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everything was good. You know, he was talking about that he was about to re-up his publishing deal, which was going to be a good thing because look what kind of publishing he had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So things were, in my eyes, were just good all the way around for him.
Yeah. He had told me the only thing that he saw different about him, he said, because he was a real, like a guy that really kept himself up. He would shave, he would trim his mustache, whatever. But he said, like, weeks leading up to that, he noticed that he wasn't shaving anymore. He wasn't getting his hair cut. He wasn't trimming, you know, the back of it.
Yeah.
He goes, I noticed a little bit, something different. He said, and then when I saw him hop over the railing and he hanged on, he goes, and he looked at me. He goes, and then he just closed his eyes and he just let himself go backwards. And that really fucked me up.
I mean, you know, Jerry and I, we went to the funeral. It was sad, you know.
He was there.
It was sad.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm sorry to deaden the mood right now.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
But you know what? I just wanted to remember him.
Yeah, no, Johnny was a good guy, man, and we were looking forward to that joint venture, and you know what I mean, and you know, I mean, come on, who wouldn't want to have, you know, Johnny J at the helm of your production for your company?
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. So at this time, Pablito, I would love to have you back. We could chop it up, even if it's just a fucking barbecue.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good, Tony. Like I said, whatever you need from me, consider it done, man.
Thank you, brother.
I'm with you 100%.
Anything you want to shout out? Anybody you want to say what's up to?
First of all, I want to give you this book, Jerry's memoir.
Oh, yes.
You know, I told you I'd bring that, you know.
Awesome.
You could stand it right here with all your cool memorabilia and whatnot. But
I'm going to put it right here.
Everybody can shout outs.
Anybody you want to just say
you know, my business partners, Patrick Hughes, Harvey Russell, everyone else at Foundation Media, my boy Magoo, my boy Maito, and I want to thank you, man, first and foremost for having me and just doing what you do, man, for for the culture and the people and keeping Roadium Radio alive, you know.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Other than that, first of all, let me go ahead and thank this man right here because I truly appreciate him giving me the opportunity to allow me to interview him because I know you don't do a lot of these.
No, it's not that I think, you know, I'm this or that, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, I'm just kind of a private person, you know what I mean? And,
I get it.
And, you know, but, you know, if, you know, people like you, you know, come around and whatnot, you know, I'll come around, you know, it's all good.
Thank you. Other than that, I got to give my shout outs and give credit where credit is due. So, John motherfucking ELKINS. What else can I say about this man? This is a man that absolutely needs no introduction. You can go on johnmotherfuckingelkins.com and you can download nude pictures of him. Just playing. So all you guys out there, I'm just playing. But anyways, he's going to be holding his first annual twerking male contest. So you guys go on his website and sign up. So if you're interested in twerking only males, he'll sign you up. So other than that, is glitter. Stripper glitter's coming out soon. Ain't no bleach is already out. It's fucking booming. Get it because it's gonna sell out quick. Other than that, his women nail polish has scented women wax. He also waxes men too. So if you want to set up an appointment, once again, and believe me, it's a pretty penny. Okay, it's not cheap. Okay, no. Okay. Other than that, his love potion, that's his new one. Love potion. Oh my God, yeah. Love potion number 10. All you gotta do is sprinkle like a quarter size on your hand, rub it all over yourself, and you're guaranteed to find love in all the wrong places. So other than that, my brother Ruben, Spice Smuggler, he's got dick pumps coming in, refurbished. They're slightly used, but don't worry about it. They're sticky, just wash them off. Other than that, DG Daniel Media Clips for all the pictures, for helping me and everything. Once again, let me go ahead and give a plug to the Chicano rap documentary. Donate. Look, I need I got about 18,000 subscribers. If 5,000 people just gave $1, just $1, we'll get started on this documentary next month. So I need your help. If you don't want to give, just don't talk shit. If you give, believe me, you'll be blessed, because we're going to work our asses off. We've actually already started working on some of the music. So other than that, if there's anybody, and my son, Be Scanless, for helping me promote this. And everybody that came here, OG Magoo, my boy, AI, andale mami, AI.
Stuck around, hung out with us, yeah.
So, and once again, Pablito's in the motherfucking building. And you know what, Raza? Stand up. It's time.
I got one more shout out I forgot. She'll kill me for this. I'm going to give a shout out to Pac in Odessa, Texas. You can go to sleep now, Pac.
Yes. Once again, Raza, stand up. That's how we're going to end, okay? And I'm about to go loot my refrigerator because I'm fucking hungry. So we'll talk to you guys later. Stay blessed. Wednesday, I have a Chicano actor coming in. Chicano actor. You need support. All right, we're out.